Hello, and welcome to the Gauntlet Star Wars Saturdays. So, the Gauntlet is a worldwide community of tabletop role playing gamers. We number in the thousands, and I say thousands as in is more than 1,000. So, from then on, you can go all the way up to tens of thousands. So, we're somewhere in the range of 1,000 to 9,999, and I'm not sure where. We play tabletop RPGs, mostly small press stuff, less conventional, little crazier with the way we handle narrative. If you don't even know what any of that means, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And in Star Wars Saturdays, this is a series that I've been running all of 2018, began in December of 2017. Every month, we choose a new role-playing game system, and a whole group of characters will be created for it. But it's kind of an ongoing narrative. So I think of it as like an anthology that is loosely attached to the timeline of the original trilogy of movies, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. We're currently in the Empire Strikes Back timeline, so the Empire is in full control. They lost that one Death Star thing, but the PR is fine. It's fine. It was just a little. There was 6 or 7 of them. I mean, they did kill Alderaan. They destroyed all of Alderaan, so obviously they're good to go, guys. Don't worry about that rebellion thing. It's the whole rebellion rising is fake news anyway. So in the Empire Strikes Back timeline is where we are. We're currently on Tatooine. Tatooine, the desert planet out in the Outer Rim that started off as a podunk nowhere and has turned out to be a focal point of many Star Wars stories. Why not jump on the bandwagon? We are currently involved. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Greg. I'm stealing this quote. Beautiful, scenic, blood-stained Tatooine. We are the second session of 4 of 1%er. 1%er is a game by Creepy Doll Studios. Originally created for playing biker gangs, a la Sons of Anarchy. It's a brilliant little game for doing that, but I can't leave well enough alone. So we are now playing Swoop Gangers. And this Swoop Gang is known as the Sarlacc Riders, which I adore. It's like this one of the best. That's the best Star Wars Swoop Gang name I have ever heard. Love it. So we've had a little bit of a roster change up. A couple people changed around. We have a couple new characters, so we're going to get to know them. And that's going to be amazing because their characters, I've got a peek. You're going to love them. Once we get to know those characters, we're going to jump back in. Now, for those who maybe didn't check the first session, in the first session, they had a meeting at Trask's Cantina, which is located in one of the Mosas, not Mos Eisley, but Mos Shuta. And Mos Shuta is under the control of Timo the Hutt. Timo the Hutt is rumored to be somewhat friendly towards rebel aims, but still a dastardly Hutt. So, he also doesn't like Jabba at all. And that's great because you guys, the Sarlacc Riders, met with four-fingered Fivo Nietu, the terrible as Sarlacc. He cheats, and he doesn't cheat well, which is why he has 4 fingers on one hand. Fivo, who gave you guys a job to steal some product from Jabba. Jabba's set up, because there's a larger Imperial presence in Mos Eisley right now, he had set up for a drop to happen out in the wastes, which is everywhere, but you guys know where the drop is supposed to happen in general timeline. And so that's the plan. It's a place called The Pinnacles. And if you guys wanted to take a look in the map area, which is the map tab, you can see that around 031 is where Mos Eisley is. And the Pinnacles are actually located somewhat to the east of that, a little bit in the Here Be Dragons off the map section. So that's where the drop is supposed to happen. It's effectively a straight shot back to Mos Eisley, which is why they set it up, but it's enough out of the way to where they can make the drop without much trouble, or so they expect. So you guys know about that drop. There was a droid, an IG-87 droid that was watching you very closely. That probably would have reported back to Jabba, but you guys shot that droid. And for those who cleverly saw, there was someone else who got away. But as far as you guys know, you took care of anyone that was watching. So Jabba and Jabba's Chosen, who are supposed to be the Swoop Gang rivals of yours, are going to go pick this stuff up. None the wiser, nothing to worry about. So you guys are good. Oh, and you also helped a poor little slave girl escape, which I think is pretty awesome as well. That's like, it's kind of dope. I really enjoyed that. Anything in the summary of what took place in the last session that I've missed? Base did have a really amazing solo that helped make more money for Trask than he's made on a Throwback Thursdays ever at the Cantina in Moshuta. But other than that, anything that I missed, you guys want to remind us of that took place in the last session? Oh, the poetry. We did have some terrible, terrible Vogon poetry that took place. And I can't even remember the species. I mean, it was the guys that have the kind of Leku type things with the long horns that come off, and then the horns at the top. I can't remember that species. Like, I know that it was featured in the prequels. It was one of the big senators who was Palpatine's buddy, but I can't remember what that species was. One of those dudes just like throwing out some really oddly, not terribly rhymed, but in another, not in basic, but in his native tongue, it rhymed. He was the guy who had the slave girl that you guys freed. Anything else? No, we're good. We're good. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's get to know our two Swoop members. These guys were always here. They were here all along. They were just in the background. We had shots of them. It's very Boba Fett, like no speaking lines. But in the expanded edition, we'll have like things where like long, slow pan of these characters, just to remind you they were always there. So let's get to know Ro.
Yeah. So Ro is a old Mon Calamar, and I really like B-Wings. B-Wings are one of the reasons why I like the Mon Calamari in the first place. So I was thinking maybe she was like a test pilot for the B-Wing, because I believe the B-Wing was made pretty close to the start of the movies.
I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you for just a second, Joshua, because like you just read my mind. In the last 3 sessions that we ran, it was Sea of Stars, and it was all about the B-Wing being moved into production. So
okay.
That's a great tie. I love it. I love it. So yeah, you were one of the early test pilots of the B-Wing. So totally cool. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. And so I don't know exactly why, but she decided that like it wasn't for her anymore, and she came to Tatooine to, I don't know, to like maybe she was injured or disillusioned for some reason. So she left. She came to Tatooine. And now she's here racing, and because she's a good pilot, racing and smuggling, and she fell in with these guys.
Nice. So you're thinking she's kind of a newer member of the crew. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So Ro, as a kind of prospect to / new member, who do you think, and I know you're kind of looking across, you haven't exactly been introduced to the characters per se, but who do you think like was the one who vouched for you to enter the Sarlacc Riders? Don't say Vulture, because his eyebrows is new.
I was thinking maybe Bass, like maybe because like I noticed that Bass also has a pretty high statted hog, so maybe we met racing our swoop bikes. If that sounds good to Bass, or Base, sorry.
Yeah, this is all right.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. All right. And you're good with Base being the president, saying, you know what, I vouch for this crazy Mon call. It's talking about some kind of B-Wing. B-Wing, what is it, Eve? A B-Wing.
Yeah, It's
Love
like,
it.
she's a good racer. If you don't want me to let her join the club, then you can step in as president and deal with all the scumbags.
Nice, nice, nice. I like it. Thank you so much for introducing us to Ro. And then, because we have a pair of Joshuas, other Joshua, please tell us about Ion.
So Ion is a Jawa, and he's lived on Tatooine his whole life. There was a unfortunate event where his sandcrawler and everyone he knew was needlessly slaughtered by some stormtroopers, and so he kind of pulled himself out of the rubble and looked over all of his dead Jawa friends and said, "I'm done with this life." And now he's a kind of a more angry, upset, mad at the world Jawa who gets out his frustrations by hanging out with these crazy people.
Oh, that's so good. Just because we talked about it pre-recording, I want to clarify. This is a Jawa that survived the Sandcrawler attack from New Hope, which means that we have Ivar's, who's the Imperial, who left because of the fact that his squad had to go murder a couple of farmers, and now moisture farmers, and now we have so good. Synchronicity, so good. I love it.
And I don't think that Ion or Vulture recognize each other or anything like that, of course.
Yeah, that would get awkward, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is really cool. I like it a lot, and yeah, Ion's create his own little customized swoop bike for his little hands and feet in the like. Now, in a previous Star Wars Saturdays game, like out of character, one of the people was playing a Jawa. This was oddly enough during a previous Swoop Biker game, but this was on Nar Shaddaa, which is a planet in the Hutt space. It's a moon in Hutt space, so way far away. There was room, like one of the players said, "Hey, I found a picture of supposedly what a Jawa looks like without their mask on." That doesn't need to be our canon. That was totally like out of thing. You're underneath the thing. We got the yellow eyes. That's all we need. You define the Jawa as you see fit. That could have been an offshoot, and people just say they're Jawas. I don't care. So all in your hands. I hand you Jawa. All this true is the movies, and then everything else is true alongside the movies. Cool. Good. Awesome. Good deal. Good. So, Greg, do you want to give us a quick, couple sentences reminder of Ukork?
Sure. Ukork is a Gamorrean, the large pig-like guards from Jabba's palace. And Ukork, last time, Ukork is sort of I have quartermaster as Ukork's job. Ukork sort of looks after the things, but there's not that many things, so it's okay. Ukork is not terribly bright, but sort of had a moment of serendipity last time and convinced some Imperials that they needed to leave because they were going to upset Timo the Hutt. And Ukork has a sort of a heart of gold, was a former guard for Jabba's palace, and Jax helped him escape, sort of promising Ukork that Jax would take him back to his homeworld, which hasn't happened. And Ukork's a little miffed about that. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you so much. All right, Lonnie, give us a quick rundown of this heroic Jax who saved someone. You're obviously some great guy.
He must be. Absolutely. Jex is Jexel Handuro. He's the sergeant of arms for the Swoop Gang. And he's a 20-year-old human male, has kind of wildly unkept brown, long hair, ripped up clothes, looks very shabby, adrenaline junkie, kind of has a death wish and is a little bit of like a ticking time bomb, perhaps. But he loves and trusts his friends in the gang, and so he's trying to find himself there. Lost a lot of family that he loved when Alderaan exploded. His father, a rich oligarch, still survives, and neither of them are really looking for each other. They're not fond of each other. Or at least Jex doesn't want to be found by his father. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But that's Jex.
Cool. Hey, Joshua, welcome back. A little tech issue. Everything okay?
Yeah, just internet cut
We never have that. That's surprising to me.
out.
Cool. Welcome back. We just had introduction of Jex. So all you miss is Jex is crazy and pretends he's not rich, but he's totally rich. And he's like an Alderani. But I think you maybe saw that in the previous recordings. You said you.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So, poser. Last but not least, we have Luis. Please tell us about Base.
Will do. So Base is Atogruta. She's orange skin with white markings on her face. She's got those. I always forget the name of it. I'm gonna keep forgetting them for this whole campaign. They are either something like Montrose or something. Those spiky things with the pretty blue stripes. That's the thing she has. She's youngish, early teens. She like late teens actually, early 20s. And she was raised by artists, and she couldn't bear to do another joint pottery class anymore. So she just popped the hell out of her planet out of her family when they went to perform for Jabba, because they were just reactionary artists, and she couldn't bear that anymore, and joined the Spy Gang. And now she just wants to ride hard and kick ass.
You are correct. It is Montrose. I just looked it up on Wikipedia, which is like the best website for Star Wars nerding. Yes, Montrose. I will now remember that because I keep wanting to say Leku, which is a Twi'lek thing. So I'm glad you said you were going to forget it. Now I can remember it because they're, those are the things that sprout from the top of their skulls. Awesome. So we pick up with the 5 of you and Vulture. Right? We'll have Vulture like slightly out of focus, but still in frame. All 6 of you are currently in the area known as the Pinnacles. So the Pinnacles, and I'm not sure which one of you would like care, but many eons ago, the Pinnacles were actually underwater. And before Tatooine became a desert planet, there was a large amount of marine life here. And as the water went away and this became a desert-like place, all of the marine, like it settled into a kind of sediment. And then there are these limestone deposits that stick up along the pinnacles, like these like odd clay fingers. There's a picture in the character keeper in the maps or the map tab, but I'll display it real quick for everybody on our video feed. It's a cool little picture. This is actually not that anyone super cares, but I thought it was neat. It's actually in South Australia. It's a place that really exists called the Pinnacles. And so this is a cool picture of it, but feel free to look. There's these things all exist. And so what that means as you guys are approaching in your swoops to the area where the drop is supposed to happen is that just like most desert, if you're in a swoop, you just and take off like crazy, right? Because there's nothing. It's just boom. Because of the pinnacles and the fact that some of these go up rather high, it's a great. It's going to cause problems. Or maybe you should be a really good biker if you want to go quick between the pinnacles. I don't know, something like giant trees in a way, but different. But different, guys, different. And as the 6 swoop bikes are coming over a horizon, kind of weaving slowly in between the first fingers of the pinnacles, you see that the YT freighter is already coming through atmosphere. Oh, got a hand up? We just lost to Joshua. That's okay. We got another Joshua. Oh, wait. Dang it. That's the fake Joshua. I'm sorry. I thought we had the real Joshua because, at some point when you like rejoin, the old one will drop off. So we'll pause. We'll wait for other Joshua. Ah, man, it's got to be bothersome. I hate when I have the thing where I like keep getting dropped. It's a bummer.
Since we have a little reprieve here, as soon as we can get an opportunity for charity, I would really appreciate that because I'm down to 5 karks. and I really don't want to lose base.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We like start off, and then we're going to flash back. So that's what we'll do. We'll flash back to give you that opportunity, right? Because you guys would have had, you've got a few days from the time when you got the job to heading out to the job. So this will be our thing of like the 6 of you weaving in between some of the pinnacles, and just like a flash or like an image as the camera picks up each of you, what it looks like as you're managing, or not managing, but as you're piloting here towards the pinnacles, seeing the freighter come down. It's a big YT, it's a YT, it's kind of a saucer disc type deal, and it's headed towards you, and you see ahead the dust that's kicked up by Saba's chosen. Man, we lost another. Okay.
I'm seeing an extra Joshua actually here.
I know. You good, Joshua? Okay.
My internet's in and out. Yeah.
Okay.
Ice somehow, or yeah. Okay.
Okay. Cool. So, just to reiterate, the 6, including Vulture, swoops are headed through the pinnacles, and you're headed towards the place where you're going to try to steal the spice drop that's coming from the freighter that's coming out of orbit right now. That's how we pick up. But what I wanted was just like a flash, just kind of get an idea. What does it look like when you guys are piloting your swoop? It could be a color, like emotion on your face, or how you manage it, how confident you are, anything along those lines. Just a quick thing. Then we're going to flash back to a moment of some kind of recovery of karks for someone who seems to be very low on it, because they started with a terrible roll. So let's start with Ukork. So as the camera kind of wide shot comes along, we come in and we see a flip of Ukork coming around one of the pinnacles. What do we see?
So Ukork has this sort of extra large swoop bike with these big pod racer engines that are sort of strapped on, and it makes this sort of rumbling. I think Sebulba from the first Star Wars 1, Phantom Menace. So that rumbling, you probably hear Ukork before you actually see Ukork. And I think Ukork is very much in control, and is possibly the only other character I would think would be a spearhead would be Jex, sort of the spearhead of the group out in front, because Ukork can do a lot of damage and is very confident. It's like sort of a big kind of toothy smile, because now we're gonna do some fun stuff.
Nice, cool. Now I'm gonna jump over to base to poor guy. Josh, man, I feel for you, man. Just keep trying. We'll keep bringing you back up. Okay, so Luis, give us an idea. What does it look like as base rides? Because I know she's got a really good hog rating, so I'm kind of curious how that.
Oh yeah, so first things first, she actually has a theme song for when she's riding, which I ran into by accident when I was looking at cool images to put on her hog, and it's the song "Flaming Star" by Elvis Presley. It's on chat now. Watch the video, you can look that up. And I think she's on the sidelines of the formation. If Orcock and Jax are leading the charge, she's on the side because she has a really good hog. It's her highest stat, so she has a better maneuvering capacity, I think. And oh no, Josh dropped again. Okay.
No, he's moved. Yeah. He just moved. He's moving. He's here.
Oh, he's here. I can barely see him. He's moving so fast. Yeah, and she's a little laid back as she rides her swoop bike. I follow the more traditional one, so she has to lean into it to drive it. But she's as laid back as you could be while riding a bike in a way that you make sure you're not gonna fall. And she's a contrast to Urquhart's bike as well, because while his bike is very noisy, hers has a built-in sound system to play that song as she rides. Because she's nothing if not extra.
Imagine she's got what they're called ape hangers, like this crazy thing.
Yeah,
laid back. Oh, that's so cool.
And she's totally like singing along to the song as she's riding as well. And nobody there tried to tell her that they've had it with this one, that she's got another one.
Get another theme song. Oh man, now I know what one of Jabba's chosen will scream as they get knocked off of their swoop. Thank you so much. And so, Lonnie, give us an idea. What does it look like as Jex is riding along here towards this big, potentially dangerous situation?
Yeah, I think the camera kind of zooms in on him, and he pulls out this flask that's got our logo on it, and he lets go of his handlebars for a moment to unscrew it, and his bike kind of goes, and he tosses this back and grabs a hold of the handlebars really quick, chugs the whole flask, kind of coughs and tosses it behind him, and he goes, Ukor, yeah, like we got stuff like this on your home planet. Come on, you don't want to go anywhere. Come on, and he gasses it, and he's kind of like challenging Ukor to go faster through these spires.
Nice. You making a contest out of it. That is great. Thank you, Jex. So I believe Josh dropped again. So we will go with Ion. Give us a look for Ion.
Yeah, so Ion's bike is pretty much like a normal swoop bike, but it's got a astromech body, horizontally welded onto where the seat would be. And, there's like a section cut off at the top, and he's just like sitting in the astromech. But there's like all these extra parts everywhere, and he's decent at driving, but the whole time he's very distracted. He's constantly like twiddling with stuff and like throwing out parts. So there's like litter coming all out the swoop bike, and things are like falling off the sides because he's trying to like, make it faster or make it go better, or just tweaking it the whole time he's riding. Maybe in the pinnacle area he gets a little more focused, but not a whole lot. And he's definitely like pulling up the rear of the party. He not too interested in like being the first one there or anything.
Nice. Oh, that's a great image. Oh, does he have like a regular blaster? Or does he have one of the Jawa kind of ion blaster type deals?
He's totally got the ion blaster. I don't know how useful that would be against, non-droid beings. So he might have like a little holdout blaster as well, but his main weapon is the ion blaster for sure.
Oh,
he's very proud of that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm imagining maybe he's got like a holdout blaster. It's like a 2-shot, and maybe one of the barrels is from a completely different gun. Oh, yeah, cool. Yes. Also, Joshua, you're back. So while you're here, give us a rundown. What does it look like as Rogue? Because you said she's a really good pilot and a good driver. So what does it look like as she's approaching the pinnacles?
Yeah, so I think she takes her driving pretty seriously. So she has a serious look on her face, and she's kind of weaving in and out, maybe showing off a little bit. Maybe kind of, that's all I got.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. I love that. That's the shot we get of the 6 of you. Vulture, we'll say that, Vulture's just there. He's slightly out of frame. We know he's there. He's riding along. We're going to flash back, and it's Star Wars. So, of course, we'll do like a quick scene wipe. And so there are 3 ways to get back karks in 1%er in this current version of 1%er. There's charity, which is doing some kind of charity work. There are a lot of opportunities in Moshuta. We can talk through that. There's duracrete justice, which is like street justice. Is a bit vigilantism. And then the last one is bonding scenes. And bonding scenes are similar. If you've ever played Lady Blackbird, it's where you're with another member of your crew and kind of establishing that filial bond, the closeness, reaffirming, talking to each other, learn a little bit about what makes you tick, perhaps opening your heart, but like really in a tough way, a totally tough way, guys. It's all good. So those are the options that you have. So base, what option what kind of scene are we having here?
So I was tempted to do some just charity because that's what I'm good at. I'm cool instead of badass. But I just really feel like setting those stormtroopers ship on fire. I just really want to mess with stuff. So I figured after the whole bar scene, everybody's upset. We would rather have killed the stormtroopers if we could. And I wasn't happy to switch from Freedom to the Imperial March. They interfered with my art. That's unforgivable. Also, they made that really shitty comment about me having to be in chains. I'm not gonna let that go. So I want to vent my frustration by torching their stuff. I figure we get on our hogs after they leave and we track them for a while and then wait for them to make another stop and do some vigilante justice while we're at it.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. So these guys are currently in the streets of Moshuta. Moshuta, I've got a map for it, but it's actually... Can I rotate? I think I can rotate. Oh, wait. No, what I just do? Okay, I don't think that's what I was meant to do. I'll only take 1 second, but if I can present the map, that will like help my brain work. So previous view, next view. Hold on just a second and see if I can rotate view. I got to rotate it 2 more times because it went. All right, here we go. I'm going to screen share with you guys, and then we'll set where we're at and move forward from there. Thanks for your patience, guys. I know Rich playing with a map is not super exciting, but it makes me happy to have maps. So this is a map of Moshuta. Down here is where the cantina is. And so I imagine after singing your lovely version of the Imperial March that made them extremely pleased, they hop in their little APC. Well, yeah, we got to get some stuff for you to trash, right? So they're in probably on an APC. And I imagine that it's going to head up here, and they check in at Landing Bay Besh in the customs office. So you could easily hit them somewhere along the lines towards the medical center. And then they're eventually going to be, there's actually here by Baba's Grill and the power station, there's a small bazaar where they would probably get out of the APC at this point around the water tower and then just walk through and patrol the bazaar, do a couple of circles there before they head out. So that's the general route. You guys know it. They aren't terribly imaginative. They're imperial. They have bureaucracy, guys. There's standard operating procedures when keeping a hut-controlled plateau village underfoot, and that's just how it goes. So I'll keep this up. Where are you thinking, Base, that things, you being the prez, you can kind of call the shots here. Where do you think you would try to enact this street justice?
So I'm really tempted to go for these barracks. I'm assuming they're barracks for the Imperials, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, actually no. These barracks are actually for Timo's thugs.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're mostly Gamorreans and they smell bad, so they have to get really far from the palace. Sorry, Ukork, but that's really how it is. But yeah, it's mostly Gamorreans and occasionally people who aren't pretty enough to sleep in Timo's palace with him. So yeah, the Imperials, they would be barracks somewhere around Spaceport Control. They've taken over a few of the areas here.
Okay, so I think I want to make this as public as possible. I want to hit them next to the power station near the water tower. I figure there's a lot of people there.
Nice.
I like it. The Empire.
Cool. So let's put this to a roll. You're going to try to sneak up and then vandalize some stuff, right? Arson. Oh yeah, you're burning some Puto down. Cool. Yeah. So I'm going to say that pulling this off is not going to be super easy. I'm going to say it's going to be hard to pull it off without getting caught. You can get stuff burning. That's not a problem. But not getting in trouble afterwards, that's the real trick. So you're going to need 4 successes. Now remember, we're looking for evens when we roll dice here.
Okay.
Is the whole crew with you?
That's what I wanted to ask the rest of the people. Like, I figured they know that Base is inclined to do this sort of thing. Like, she looks like she's fine with the situation, and then right after she says, okay, I'm gonna go over there and set some things on fire. So I figured if somebody wanted to hang back and not be a part of this, that would be totally fine by her. Does
anybody want to drop out? Like, I'm assuming that the crew, because you guys are kind of a family and Base is your president, so if she gets in trouble, you all get in trouble. But anybody who would break off and not go. Vulture's stuck paying the bill. He's paying the bar tab. So he's like, go ahead, guys, I got this.
I think Ukork is not going to actually involve himself with the actual arson part because it would probably go wrong. There's probably a story there. But Ukork is sort of going to like hang back and do crowd control to make sure that other people don't get accidentally hurt from the arson.
Awesome. So that easily could be a thing that if you feel the need, you could spend a few karks.
Yeah, I'll definitely throw a kark into the pool for Base.
Thank you.
All right. And then I'm going to help because we got a couple of newbies. Well, let's walk through building that die pool. You're not actively hurting anyone. So I think just like you set up, you want to be cool. I think that's cool. You got to be smart. You got to be relaxed. And I think you're being cool here. So you get 3 dice to start with, 6-sided dice.
Okay.
The thing you're doing, to describe to me a little bit about how you see you're doing what you're doing. We'll figure out which thing applies.
So I'm split between doing a drive-by and throwing a Star Wars equivalent of a Molotov cocktail on the ship, and just flipping them the board as I drive off, which seems to be the least risky option if Ukor does ground control, or just straight up parking the bike 2 blocks away and sneaking through the crowd and messing with their engine so it catches on fire the minute they turn the key. I don't know if that's an arson thing or a tools thing.
Oh, it's definitely an arson thing. I'm totally cool with it being an arson thing. I was trying to figure out whether you were using your hog or your feet. You know, if you're trying to sneak up there, I think feet works for me. But if you do want to drive by, then hog. Although I will tell you that by doing a drive by, you're leaning towards being badass. I mean, I'm just saying it's kind of badass to like roll up on a hog and toss a Molotov cocktail on some Imperial.
Yeah.
You tell me which feels more comfy for you.
I'm gonna play it safe since we're just technically getting started. So I'm just gonna do the sneak up thing.
Okay, so you've got 3 dice from Be Cool. You've got 2 dice from Feet because that's how you're sneaking up. So that's 5 dice, and then you're committing arson. That's one of your expertises, so that gets you a 6th die. And you have 1 kark that Ukor's throwing your way.
Okay.
It gives you 7 dice. You are looking, because this is hard, you need 3 or more evens. The pucker factor is in effect. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah.
But if you're successful, I'm going to give you some karks back for your street justice.
I'm going to invest some karks in this. I'm going to give a kark myself.
Okay, so that's 8 dice. Now, just to explain what I meant by the pucker factor is in effect. That means that you need 3 or more evens. You get 3 or more evens, you're successful. But for every 1 that you roll, they're called shebs. For every 1 that you roll, you actually lose a kark in the process. There's something it costs you. There's a heavy danger factor. It's the possibility of you getting shot at, kind of thing. Cool. So let's have you roll those 8 dice and see how it goes.
Let's do this. Just scene-wise, I'm curious what the rest of the people are doing to assist me in this, besides Ukor.
I know Ukor was doing some crowd control. So
Yeah.
that one is pretty easy. Just kind of a, hey, move along kind of thing. And no one's going to argue with Ukor because they still think he works for Timo. Except for that, that Sarlacc pit. By the way, the Sarlacc pit, Sarlacc Riders picture that was linked in that was totally cool. And we need to grab that. I don't think I stuck that on the... Yeah, I need to grab that and put it on our character.
It's in the event of the first one.
Yes, gotta get that.
I gotta get a skull in there. I didn't realize there was a skull in the logo until I looked at the character keeper today.
Cool. So is anybody else going to give a kark? Or you think with 8 dice against a diff of 3 that you're going to let it ride?
I'm going to give the kark. I'll give 2 karks. I haven't got some of those.
You're crazy. You got
Yeah.
karks.
I have a lot from last time for some reason.
All right.
I'll throw in 1 too. I think Ion wants to be around if any Imperials are there to mess up.
Thank you.
I think Ro is pretty worried about the heat that this might draw. So I don't know. I probably with Ukork, but I don't know if it makes sense for me to give a kark though.
Okay. Cool. So you're around, but you're not actively contributing. That's 10 dice. I think you're going to be okay.
No, don't say that. Why did you say that?
Because I'm going to curse you.
Why would you do that to me, Rich? Come on. Be on my side, man. I think we're going to... Watch out for the 10 ones. Rerolling is happening somehow. I'm waiting for the result to pop up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. No ones. Look at you.
Yes. We got 3, 4, 5 evens.
5 evens. That is spectacular. So yes, you're very successful. is this a thing where they see you and chase after you? Do they not even see what's going on? And it's one of those, like, they come out and the APC, like, what does it look like? I'm handing it to you, like, fantastic success. How did you take this?
So I think I'm gonna play it safe for now and just say that they don't see me, because I think a Togruta is really stands out for them, since they just saw one in the bar. They would know who we are immediately. I don't want to compromise the club again. So I think I just, like, we park our bikes, our hogs, and everybody just gives a nod to each other, and we fall information inside the crowd. Like, let's see who's with me. Jax is with me, also, and also Ian. Okay, so we just start moving through this mess of people that are gathering around this kind of hub in the city. I'm trying to find the map now. Oh, you pulled it up. That's how I can. The water station and the cantina and stuff. They're all one, the restaurant. And I just start sneaking down below the ship while Jax and Ian just do some distraction. I don't know what you guys would do to help me with this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what's Jax doing to help out?
I think maybe he had a case of, like, he had made Molotov cocktails out of Corellian brandy, which is pretty expensive. and I think he pulls the rags out of some of them and he starts going, Corellian brandy, giving it away. Who wants some brandy? This is good stuff. Come on, guys. And he's just yelling that out to the crowd and, like, tossing it. And I think he's trying to turn it into, like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's the best I got. I'm not really striking a lot, but I think that's what he's doing. He's just like tossing brandy out, like, into, like, the bottles of brandy, like, into crowds of people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I figure.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I figure, like, as he's giving out the bottles, Bay surreptitiously takes one from him. Like, they plan this, so the bottles are a distraction, as she picks one of the bottles and stuffs it with a rag and lights it up and hides it beneath the ship. And, like, for every third bottle he throws out, she picks one herself and puts it under the ship.
I think Ion's there too, and, like, taking, like, a crowbar or something and, like, peeling back pieces of armor on the APC so that Base can get the Molotov cocktails further into the actual body of the thing.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think that's it. We set that up, and then I guess Ulcork and I'm sorry, I'm gonna get the names down. Ulcork and Ro strongly encourage people to not be close to that bike in a minute, to that ship in a minute, and then it just blows up in the air, like it flies 6 feet in the air before dropping down in a mess of metal.
I love it. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody 5 karks for this act of vandalism. The Imperials will, man, that's not good. It happened right on their watch, so they're going to have to pull back a little bit from Molshuta. Of course, it may cause trouble down the road, but for now, Molshuta is very happy that there are a few less white hats running around and quote unquote keeping the peace. Good. So we will jump back to the 6 of you riding through the pinnacles. Oh,
so I just think that like it cuts, like the flaming star starts playing again, and we cut to Base, and she has sunglasses on, and she's just thinking like, yeah, I set some stuff on fire.
Straight. All right, cool. I threw the Sarlacc Riders pick from our G Plus event there, where you link that. I just dropped in as on row 30 right by the Sarlacc Riders name, so now we have that. And you guys should definitely grab the totally cool pictures that were posted up during our old event. Make sure those are not lost to time as well. So we have the amazing Elvis Presley song playing in the background as you guys are riding closer. You see that YT, which is like a saucer shape style. It's got a cockpit off to the side. You can see there's a pop-up turret down below, and it's coming down. The speed that you guys are coming in, the sheer density of the pinnacles, the Jabba's chosen, those 5 swoop bike riders, as they're kind of circling around, waiting for this delivery. Don't think that they're able to see you. And the YT freighter gets closer and closer. And then as you guys are kind of coming in this area, the YT freighter is coming down. You can see it pops its landing feet, the struts, and it comes down and lands, kicks up a whole bunch of dust. And your vision into that central area where it's landed is impaired for a brief moment. So I'm going to check in. Base, what's the plan here? You guys going to kind of come in hard? Are you hanging back until the freighter takes off again? What's your plan?
Well, as we established last session, I'm more like the face than the brain. That was Vulture's job. So which of the new players is smarter than me? Like, which of the new characters? Who's the actual brain, since it turns out Vulture was just an NPC all along?
I think Rogue might be our new strategy with the history and the rebellion, and definitely the big be cool stat and the big head stat. I think that might be Rogue.
Yeah, sure. I'll be the brains. So I think let's see. I think Base and I, we kind of so there's someone that we're meeting, right? Like we're walking up to two people coming out of the.
Let me reset the scene just to make sure it's clear, because I know there's a lot of dropping. It's no problem, no worries about it. Okay. So here's the plan. You guys got the 411 of where a drop of a bunch of spice is going to happen.
Yeah.
The plan is a tramp freighter is going to come down with the shipment. Kind of, it's a drop and pop. So they're going to come down, land, push everything out the door, and take off again in the space of a few minutes, because they're not technically landing here. They're going to be landing in a spaceport in Mos Eisley. So it's like they're coming towards, they come in, they drop, pop, and they take off again. Jabba's chosen, which is another swoop bike, they're going to pick all that stuff up. It's going to be on little hover, kind of like hover things. They going to grab all that up. One of them's going to create a little train. The other 4 are going to wash their backs, and they head to Mos Eisley and hand it off to Jabba's people so they can move that spice throughout Tatooine. That's the plan. So you're not meeting with anybody. Your plan is they're getting these supplies, and you hit them. You could hit them when the tramp freighters drop down, but then anybody in the tramp freighter might try to defend their stuff. But also, maybe they will create some confusion. Or you can just wait until they have everything trained up and you come in on them. So you've got a few different points of attack. I'm just trying to figure out at what point do you guys want to move forward?
So I think it'd probably be best to hit them when they're like after the freighter is left, and they're trying to make their way back through these like craggy rocks and stuff. So like maybe there's a way we could kind of like set ourselves up, like figure out which way they're going to go and set ourselves up behind these crags and things. And kind of like ambush totally. Maybe in such a way where like it's like kind of trickling slowly, so they think it's just one of us. And it's like, oh, we can take this guy and then like lead them to the others, that kind of thing.
Nice. Okay, that sounds cool. Let's set that up then. Who's leading this thing?
Who's the most badass?
There's a lot of badassery here. Ukork is one. Jex is pretty badass. Those are your 2 heavy hitters, I think.
Jex, what do you think? Do you think Jex goes in first, or maybe one of the better riders goes in first?
I was kind of thinking Jex might think it was hilarious to like string apart some sort of like really strong filament line between some of those spires and just yank them up as the bikes come through and knock them all off their swoop bikes and just laugh and take care of the rest of them that are left after that.
Yeah, I like the sound of that a lot.
Oh, that is evil. That is evil.
Yeah, so it's totally be good with being the bait.
Okay, cool. So Ukork drives in and leads them towards Jex's tripwire. Awesome.
Oh man, are you playing bait? That sounds good. Who wouldn't want to kill an Ukork? I love it. So Ukork, let's have you. Sorry, go ahead. What'd you say?
Jabba's 5 probably recognizes me since I was a previous, guard. So they probably have some bad blood there.
Well, there is Ulyog, the Gamorrean female, who, yeah, she sees you. She's going to try to put you in line. She's very upset that you, because there, as we established in last session, she's used to being in charge. Not going to go well. All right, let's see, Ukork, if you can lead these guys astray to this ugly ambush. This could be a short and sweet fight. We'll see how this goes. You guys are lucky. So they are wary, and for you, the players, you remember they have a little bit of a heads up. So this is going to be hard. In fact, it's going to be karking hard. You're going to need 4 successes to lure these guys astray, to have them drop the fact that they've gotten a little bit of warning that something fishy, be on the lookout kind of stuff going your way. I think you're trying to be a badass. Are you riding up on your hog here and trying to trail them away, or do you think there's something you're doing or saying to them to try to be the best possible bait?
I think I'm definitely using the hog. I think Ukork's bike has such a distinctive sound to it that it just Ukork sort of sits behind a rock and revs it really hard, and so the Jabba's. I actually think that I'm not sure we established, but I think Ukork stole the bike from Jabba's 5.
Yes.
So it's a very distinctive sound, and it's one they recognize. And so I'm just sort of hanging out behind one of the larger crags and revving it really hard to try and draw their attention away from the spice.
Nice. I'm going to say that you're riding Yakark's, the Wookiee. You're riding Yakark's ride.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he put that
I might want to know. You said it was 4 that I need.
Yeah, you need 4 successes, and Pucker Factor is 100% in effect.
Definitely. Does anyone want to? Not exactly sure with that setup how someone could give a kark, but I'm interested.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
I think that I definitely give a kark by setting up the situation, right? Like by coming up with the plan, yeah.
And it's Jabba's 5. I'm going to give 2 of my own karks as well.
I think Ion kind of comes up to Ukork's bike and throws this like black goo into the engine and gives it like a boost. And it's even louder and smokier and more badass than it was a few seconds ago for a short period of time.
Kind of reminds me of the oh shit, I forgot the movie. Crap. The latest Road Warrior movie where they're like spitting into the engine. It's totally cool.
All right,
Fury
so
Road. Wow, sorry.
We'll see how it goes.
So I'll give you a kark for that.
Nice. All right, Ukork. Hope you've been keeping count. So many karks.
Yeah, just to double check. So it's 3 for badass, 2 for ride, 1 from the Jawa, 1 from the Moncala, and then 2 from myself. So that's 9.
Nice.
Right, here we go. I think it's still thinking. Okay, I think it's done. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay. 5, not a single Sheb.
No Shebs. That's 2 giant rolls in a row. Oh, I keep trying to trick you guys into building your pools, so I hurt you a lot.
Oh, it'll happen, I'm sure.
I know it'll pay off at some point. That is fantastic. Okay, cool. So you're revving things up, and Yakark, he hears it, and he lets out a Wookiee bellow, full of fury, and it revs up his engine. They're still hooking up. So just so you guys have it, we have Olyag, the female Gamorrean. This is the moment where we cut to them, and we do real quick like snapshots of their headshot and like some stuff written in basic about them. So and we have Olyag, the female Gamorrean, leader of Jabba's chosen, the Swoop Gang. And we have Yakark, the male Wookiee, member of Jabba's chosen. And we have like a little note in parentheses says that Ukork stole his bike. HBO4, the former battle droid, member of Jabba's chosen. He's all scuffed up and scarred. I mean, he's from the Clone Wars, right? He's just kind of rebuilt himself over and over again. So like his arm's a different color, and and part of his claws from a different robot model chassis, you know, and he constantly rebuilds himself. We jump over to the dread-wearing Zena Korin, who maybe she has some kind of relationship with one of you guys on the slide. We don't know. We'll figure that out in a minute. Then that's what we see. All of Jabba's chosen. The last one is the Ikochi biker, Elfin Hazan. Elfin is actually someone that appeared in Apocalypse World, Tatooine game. He's the last of a member of Ikochi, and all of his family got killed by the player characters. So he's pissed off. He was left behind by the ones that didn't get killed. So we have Elfin in he is the one who's trying to hook up the string of 5 carriages. So they're about the size of like 5 foot across, 5 by 5 kind of cube. They're on these little hover pads, and there's a chain that connects all 5 of them, right? And he's hooking that up to his swoop. And that's when Yakark hears his bike, the one he worked on. You know, he actually cobbled together those pods. He is so pissed that he takes off, and he comes whipping around one of the pinnacles, and that's just the one, Jex, where you've laid out the little monofilament wire, and it like hits it right across the chest. The swoop bike keeps going, smashes into one of the pinnacles, spins off the front of the speeder bike, like it does that kind of rotating around, little 3D actions. It comes towards the camera and smashes into, and the Wookiee is there. He's got this huge laceration cut into his chest. He's bleeding profusely. He's actually, it's Star Wars, so just forgive me. He threw out his arm first, so his arm's laying beside him. Got his own arm chopped off from this monofilament wire, and it is on. Yakark is out of the fight and will probably show up later with a lot of hate in his heart for you guys. I'm just saying, you could double pump him. It's an option. You don't have to, though. Effet is like, he starts screaming out, protect me, I got the spice. And Olyag says, HBO, watch that. And she pulls up. She's got a big repeating blaster, and she starts whoop, 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 firing across towards you guys, trying to dial anybody in that's in her line of sight. But of course, you can use the pinnacles, right, to make things more difficult. So, Jex, you set this up, man. This is amazing. Your thing is gone off. You guys have got them outnumbered. They go running into the repeating blaster. That is dangerous. What do you do, James?
Well, it's dangerous, so that's exactly what he does, right? So he guns his swoop bike, and he starts heading like straight for that repeating blaster, trying to. You see him like swooping side to side as blaster bolts are hitting the sand, and slowly pulls out that big chrome revolver, and the camera zooms in on it, and you see the Orabesh lettering. It's like boom, 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 and it says, "Murder your past."
I love it. Oh, that's the best. Oh,
and
man.
And he's going to take aim. I think he's going to shoot at the repeating blaster. Is that something that he could do?
God, yes, that just makes it harder, but it's totally more amazing. So this is karking ridiculous what you are doing. Right? This is so crazy. If you're successful, you've shot the repeating blaster out of her hand, and it is entirely possible that Oleg may think better of this. And she may like circle wagons and leave the spice to you guys at this point, because that's just too much. But you've got to pull it off. So you're going to need 5 successes.
Okay.
Pucker factor is so in effect here, Jax, because you could get the crap blown out of you. You're gonna take some hits regardless, right? I'll just tell you, even if you roll an incredible amount, you would need 7 successes to take no damage. Even if you're successful, you're going to take some kind of hurt. But as far as losing karks, that'll be based off your roll. But like, you will take cosmetic damage at the very least.
Perfect. Right? What could be any better than that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make your day here. All right, see if you can pull this off. Oleg is gonna shoot the shit out of you, dude. Oh.
So I think he's being badass, right?
I think I can agree with that.
And tools probably for his gun and his bike, or would it be better for Hawk?
No, tools is definitely for the gun. You got to take a good shot here. I think that fits for me.
I don't know if this counts as murder. He's not really trying to kill anybody.
I don't think you're trying to kill any beings, so I'm sorry. I don't think that fits.
So none from those. How many karks can I spend? Is there a limit?
There is no limit.
You know, let's throw. I'm crazy. I might be out of this by the end of it. How about 4 karks?
Do it.
Right.
Dude,
so
no,
I'll give you
one.
I'll take that one too.
Oh no!
He really wants to pull this off. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. Kevin Costner was in a Western one time. He played a character that reminds me of Jax a little bit. God, I'll have to look it up. He was this crazy sharpshooter. Oh man, Silverado was the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that movie. So let's see. So I've got 8, 9. I need 1 more die to make it 10 because I'm getting a card from Bass, right? Sorry about my slowness with this, guys. I'm an old dinosaur.
I definitely wanna contribute a kark to this. I think I want to run some interference, maybe kick up some dust with the hog.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's 11 karks.
I don't want to steal any of Jex's thunder, but maybe we could ride up with him a little bit and then cut off towards the spice. That way,
that's awesome. I love it.
Go, together. That way, I can throw in a kark that way.
Yeah, no, I like it. You don't mind that, Jex, right? He's helping.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, so that'd be 3 extra dice. So I think I got it. So let's see how that works. Okay, so I've got, those are 9, so I got to roll 3 more. Right, submit.
So many dice.
Did I do this right? How do I get the extra 3? Oh, there's the
they're
extra
in the
3.
middle. They appear in the middle.
Okay. All right, so I have 1 Sheb, right? And 1, 2, 3.
Yay, 1 Sheb.
4, 5. Right? Is that right? 5. 1, 2, 3,
1, 2.
4, 5. Oh, 6.
6 successes. I guess 5. You needed 5. Okay. Dang it. So take a couple of shots. Do you get hit? Does your hog get hit? Where do you imagine? What? You get that repeating blasters. What are those like? Would be tripod mounted, but this is a Gamorrean. She doesn't give a shit about tripod mounts because she's just that strong. And we got this cool muscle, right? And she's Gamorrean, right? So she's kind of heavy set. She just sits there and she a little bit of jiggling and some muscles clenching. She's firing that, but you shoot it out of her hand. So what does it look like, Jex? You got the guys kind of came and parted the sea for you, a bit of cloud dust. You parting the cloud. What's it look like when you make that shot?
I think he's holding on with one hand and trying to hold his bike steady, his swoop steady, and he's got that big cannon, and it blows. It looks like it has this huge kick, right? And it just blows back like this, and you see it shred the barrel of this repeating blaster, if that's okay, and it flies out of her hand, and But some of those bolts like hit a stabilizer in my swoop bike. Does that work?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. And so you did lose a kark from the thing. So you've spent 4 and you lost 1 more. You're still okay though. But yeah, explodes. Stabilizer on your swoop is in rough shape, and that's when the Itochi just takes off. He's thinking, well, these guys aren't going to back me up, and Ulyag just lost her rifle. So, and Yakark is Jack. So Xena is gonna try to be his wingman, but Elfin Hazan has taken off, and he's just gonna try to race away from you guys. Right, just make a dead run for Mos Eisley as fast as he can go.
I would like to chase him.
Ooh, would you now? Would you now?
Yeah. And the Ion's definitely headed that way too when he broke off from Jex. So
perfect, cool.
Yeah, ride him down.
Sweet.
So
want to get you? Okay, so Base and Ion take off a row. Where are you at?
I'm trying to decide if I would go with them or if I would. So the one that left has the cargo.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'd take off with them as well.
All right, cool. So Base, it seems like you're leading. You were the first to call out, but I know Ro is just as good a pilot as you are, so this could be definitely a very useful thing. We could break it into 2 separate actions because Xena is the. Xena, let me make sure I got my name right. It is Xena with a Z, not an X. So sorry, fanboys, not Lucy Lawless. Xena Corrin is trying to wingman for Elfin Hazan. So you guys could split up, one go after Xena, one go after Elfin, or you can just help Base go after Elfin and try to catch him. Ro and Ion. Your choices, guys.
I think I wanna drive off the wingman. I wanna kind of try to get between them and separate them and try to use the terrain to get them to split up so that the other 2 can go for the main one.
Nice
I keep forgetting the names, but
that's okay. Yeah, so we have Elfin in the lead.
Okay, Elfin.
And then we have Xena in the back.
Okay.
She's the wing.
Okay, I think I wanna split Xena away from Elfin.
Awesome. So to do that, that's actually hard. So you need 3 successes, but the pucker factor is in effect because she's got a holdout blaster, and as you come up, she's gonna do that thing where she leans back, pew, 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 she's firing a few shots at you. Of course, you're small, so it's easy for you to dodge.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think
have you
so.
used control for your party before? I can walk you through how to use it if you need some help.
No, I think I'm okay. So I think as she's firing, I'm swerving in and out between the rocks, trying to use them as for cover as much as possible, and just kind of try to steer her away. So I got 3 for my. So do you think that's probably Hog, right? That's probably cool. Cool and Hog.
To me. Cool and Hog sounds good to me.
Okay, so that's a base of 6.
All right.
And I don't think any of my expertise exactly contributes.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I think we can use those though. That'll definitely be some cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, for smuggling, maybe I have some sort of grappling hook or something so I can try to drag her around. Maybe that gets the smuggling in.
Oh God, that's great! Yes, you grappling hook. We're making a note of that. That sounds amazing.
Okay, cool.
I would like to throw a karkin fictionally. I think when Ukork, after the Wookiee got injured, sort of came around the pinnacle and started just firing his blaster, and probably damaged something cosmetic, but it was enough to sort of shake Xena a little bit.
Cool. And I'm going to give a couple of my own karks for this one.
Okay, cool. So you need 3 successes. Sorry, 3. 5, no 3. So sorry.
So
what color dice are you using?
I'm using blue. I got to add a couple more.
Okay.
I got to add 4 more. Okay. Oops. And reroll. There. Okay. Even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes.
6 successes.
And 2 ones.
Ooh, 2 shebs, huh?
Shebs.
All right, so it's gonna hurt a little bit to, yeah. Got to see some shebs. I'm so excited. All right, Ion. So you're coming up alongside. Xena's trying to fire at you, and I think she hits right beside you, and then we see the hood kind of a little bit of flame from you getting shot once. Looks like she's about to take you out, and that's when the grappling hook comes out, right? What does it look like when you attach that grappling hook? Like, is it a thing where she tumbles off her bike, or you just throw her out of the way? What does it look like?
I think I kind of like I'm maneuvering through the rocks, and I get alongside her, and I kind of like cut in front and shoot the grappling hook back, and maybe as I'm kind of starting to steer more to kind of pendulum affect Elfin's bike, and maybe the back of her bike snags a rock, and it spins and she tumbles off.
Oh, nice. Did she survive? Or do we know? Or is she dead?
I don't. I'm gonna keep that ambiguous. I think.
Sweet. We still have an explosion, right? The back of the bike slaps into one of the pinnacles, chips off a bunch of pieces, and there's a big explosion, and she's rolling off camera. We're not sure what the heck happened to Xena. And now you're dragging half of a speeder bike behind you.
Yeah.
You could probably use that later. I'm not sure. So let's dial into Base, who's getting help from Ro as you are chasing Elfin. He's kicked in, gets a little bit higher, and he's looking over his shoulders. He's going as fast as he can, but unfortunately, he's not a racer like you guys. He's also got 5 cargo crates that he's dragging behind him. So what does this look like, Base? What are you doing?
So my first idea was racing right beside him and just giving him this look, and then racing further on and flipping my bike around and playing chicken with him so he would drop out.
Oh my gosh, yes. I want to see that. I want to see that so bad. I think then this is some kind of be cool thing, right? You're not really being badass. It's just keeping your cool and not chickening out, because that's what chicken is, right?
Yeah. But I really want to do something that's a collaboration with Ian as well. So if Joshua has any suggestions.
I was kind of imagining Ion. He's trying to take all the shots. If Elfin's taking pot shots at us, I think he wants to get in the way between Elfin and Base, and he's got the top of the astromech that he cut out to make the cockpit. He kind of brings it up and holds it and uses it to block the shots from the blaster. So he's almost like a little bit of a shield wall in between Elfin and Base.
Nice.
Awesome.
I
think we are riding Elfin, then Ion, then Base, and Ion is shooting me, so I just ride beside him, and then I just speed past him when I can to make this game of chicken happen.
I
I think Ion is going to be in a good position to intercept Elfin when he gets how can I say, when he gets rushed by me.
Okay.
I also want to make sure we don't lose any cargo if Elfin swerves and goes crazy,
Yeah, so that's the thing. If you guys, so winning chicken is hard, but if you're trying to do it without him bailing and hurting any of the cargo, then that makes it karking hard. So you'll need 4 successes. Yeah. Because when he bails out, just kind of go off. There's a possibility of mashing into any of the limestone deposit, kind of stalagmites, as it were.
I'll give 2 karks.
Okay.
Since I'm pretty
maybe we could do like a double chicken fake out. I just move past him at the last minute and he thinks he won, but then I press my bike against the side of his and we sandwich his bike together so we can stop him moving.
Yeah.
God, that's a crazy maneuver.
I was also imagining that since Ion's got that ion blaster, I could try to decouple the spice with that, just like shooting the coupling link between his bike and the spice crates.
Oh.
Trying to add into all this craziness that we got going.
So instead of the chicken, maybe the chicken is the distraction and Ion's doing the actual thing. Is that?
Yeah, that's cool. That totally works. Like this guy's so worried.
Guys are tricky. Look at this. Oh, Alpha's totally falling for this. I'm going to say that the pucker factor isn't in effect because you're just pulling a fake on this guy. You're going to zip out anyway. It's still going to be hard. That's a tough shot, right? Okay. You got to pull it off and lickety split. But I'm removing the pucker factor because he thinks he's getting into chicken. He thinks I've got so much weight and that's just a dumb Taguda girl. I've got him. It's fine. No problem. So he just barrels down, right? And he's headed straight for you, not even paying attention to the fact that Ion's coming in. So let's see if you can pull off that shot then.
Let's see it. I'm going to give one of my cards for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Is Ion still giving me one?
Oh, actually, I think I was going to let Ion lead the role and effectively base. Oh, yeah, okay. Instead of
thank you.
Like you're distracting, so it seems like Ion's the one leading the role this time.
So Ion could give a kark for himself, though, right?
He could absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I'll go ahead and do 2 karks for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save that cargo, Ion. We're counting on you.
All right. So you're using a tool.
Okay.
I hesitate to say you're being cool, though. I mean, it's definitely dangerous here, right? You don't really have time to relax. So I think you're being badass, but this is a pretty badass maneuver. So that's 4 dice that you have to start off with.
Okay, 4 dice, and then 2 karks from me and 1 from base.
Yep.
Okay.
Is this theft?
Yeah, it is literally theft. It's crazy interpretation, but that's your expertise. So you're even thinking thiefy.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 8 dice. We'll go for it. Let's see if this works. So that's 4 successes.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, you dial it in. Is this the hold up? Because you're not. I don't imagine you're using the Ion. So you use the hold up blaster for that.
Well, I was thinking maybe the Ion would be able to like fry any electronics that are coupling the bikes or the bike with the spice thing.
I like that. I like that. Bam. So the thing, speeder bike takes off. Right. The thing, it's not guided, right, but it's still guiding in that it's not guided as in he's not moving it, but it's still hovering along and still going in that pathway, heading forward. So when he turns around in the chicken and Elfin looks back, you fooled him, right? He's going to have to go back, but now it's a mad dash to grab that cargo because the cargo's heading off by itself. You shot it, you're right by it, but now you've got to either grab it or somebody else needs to speed along and try to snag the cargo. Who wants to do that?
Maybe Ro could do it. I don't know how.
I don't know. Is Ro been kind of supporting this? It seems like Ro might be in a position after leading off Xena.
Yeah.
And
maybe I
Elfin distracted.
Yeah, but like maybe I cut the cable and circle back to grab the cargo.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Wait. So, sorry, I dropped for a second. Did the roll go
okay.
There? Yeah.
So what happened is these guys are tricky as all get out, and that's awesome. they had made it look like Elfin was going to in a chicken match against Base, but really that was a feint. It was a fake, a duke as it was. And Ion came in and fired right behind Elfin, where Elfin had attached his speeder bike to the cargo.
Yep.
And detached it. So now the cargo is just, it's kind of barreling ahead like a train, right? And if you guys let it go, it could possibly run into one of the stalagmite limestone deposit type deals. So Ro could kind of sweep in. Yes, this is Sarlacc Rider Rope, Adelph. Yes, absolutely. It's one of your maneuvers. It's like maneuver 46. Yeah, so you can swoop in and try to, grab hold of it, or maybe there's a way you could attach it to the back of your speeder bike, but you're just trying to take control of the cargo before the runaway train never coming back. I don't know, some kind of Guns N' Roses song. I'm not sure, but trying to make sure that it doesn't crash and spill a bunch of spice on the desert floor.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think I'm gonna use the grappling hook again. I think I'm gonna swoop by. I'm gonna like pound on the button on the back of the thing to make the second grappling hook come out of the back there, and grab onto that and take off.
2 grappling hooks. This is great. I love it. Cool. So I don't think Shebs is in effect, or the pucker factor's in effect here. This is you're going a high rate of speed. Does normal seem too easy to you guys? This seems like a normal thing. Like you're on a speeder bike, you guys are swoop riders. This is a thing you can do, right? So yeah, just 2 successes.
Just 2. Okay.
Just 2.
Yeah. So I think that's stat wise, that's like identical to the last one. So 3 for Hog, 3 for Cool, and 1 for smuggling, I guess. So that gets me up to 7. And I'll give a kark. So that's
right.
8.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah. So just move those away from those 2. Reroll.
Oh man, I should have said Gar. Oh man, I just feel guilty of like they can't have Pucker all the time. But yes, look at all those ones. But yes, it looks like you've pulled it off.
Cool, awesome.
Smuggling, all the grappling hooks. I love it. You guys were built for this. Bam. So you attach it with a grappling hook, avert one of the stalagmites things, just whip around it, and we cut back to who we haven't seen in a few minutes, Ukork. Obviously, Ukork's been distracted because Ulyag is there. You saw Jex take out her repeating blaster, and she squeals in a bit of pain, just more of a frustration squeal than a, oh, I'm scared squeal. And she barks at you. She says, Ukork, what are you doing? She's hearing that harsh Gamorrean, come to me.
So Ukork, the thing I was thinking is, I think Ukork is very attracted to Ulyag. I mean, how could you not be?
Look at her.
Beautiful.
We've seen pictures of her in the NPCs.
And I think, but I think Ulyag, I think, is one of the things from the wiki is that the Gamorrean females make the Gamorrean males fight to the death to sort of thin out the herd and find the most appropriate mate. And I think Ukork, I didn't take murder. I don't think Ukork actually likes killing people. And so I think Ulyag finds that not attractive about him. So I think Ukork is sort of torn and is looking back and forth between Jex and Ulyag and Jex and Ulyag and not exactly sure what to do. And says, it's a job, Ulyag. It's just a job. It's not, don't make this personal.
Oof, nice. He says, I will forgive your weakness. Come back to me.
But I don't remember that being all that good, Ulyag.
Cool.
They treat me better. They treat me better. You don't. You treated me like poodoo.
Nice. You deny her. Oh, she squeals in frustration, peels back and starts heading back for Yakark and Zina. And HBO4 at this point is like, this is not working out. Sorry. I'll meet you guys back at Jabba's palace. And he's out. HBO's taken off at this point. There's far too much craziness going on. He has done the calculations. This is not meant to be. So HBO bails on Jabba's Chosen, and you guys have the cargo. And unless you want to circle back and try to take down Jabba's Chosen, you can zip out of here. So, Base, what do you do?
I don't want to waste my time fighting these people. They've been humiliated. I just want my money.
Nice.
I want out.
Cool. So, are we good to end scene? Does anybody have anything else they wanted to do in this conflict here at the Pinnacles?
I wanted to toss some water and maybe a med kit to Yakark. Just, because I said it's not personal. I don't want him to like die out here in the desert. That's no way to go.
Nice. Cool. So then the last thing we see is we see Yakark laying there, blood kind of seeping into the desert, and he growls as he sees you fly away. And Oleg, she stops her speeder bike as she comes over and starts trying to help him to sit up. And then Zina walks over, holding her head, right? Some blood coming from a head wound, right? And she leans up against one of the limestone stalagmites, and you guys are taking off in the distance, laughing. The song starts up again because Base has pulled this off, and Sarlacc riders have stolen tens of thousands of credits worth of spice from Jabba's Chosen. You've been easily identified. You've left behind witnesses. This is great. There will be no repercussions whatsoever. I'm very excited about this, guys. It's good stuff. Cool. What is your motto? Do you guys have a motto yet?
We haven't really thought about it.
Nice.
It's grappling hooks. That's our motto.
Grappling hooks. Yes. That's a great motto. Let's take our mid-game break. We're going to take about a 5-minute break, bio break, get a drink, whatever kind of stuff. We'll be back. It is currently 41 minutes after, so we'll meet back up at 46 after. See you guys then, and we'll pick up. Hello. Hello, my swoop bikers. All right. This looks like there was some. All right. Cork. All right. Awesome. So let's skip ahead a bit of time. You guys going off in the distance. We did the little screen wipe there. We pick up with you, all 6 of you. I'm not even sure what Vulture did in that fight. I guess he was shooting some, like maybe we like reshot some of the scenes with Vulture to like digitally insert him in shooting at people. I don't know. Maybe he dealt with HBO. It was him and HBO. They had some kind of thing, some kind of business that will be in the expanded edition that comes out a number of years later. It's just like a bunch of fan theories. It's like on a forum somewhere, people writing fanfic about what Vulture did in that fight. We figure it out later. All right, so we pick up with you guys again. Molshuta, which is the place on a default setting you guys normally are, is retake my view. It is located up on a plateau. I kind of like this picture, so just going to share it with you guys. No, there isn't a giant statue of a hut, but that is Timo the Hut. But you can see here that Molshuta actually sits up on top of a plateau. There's a long, winding road that leads up to it. And exactly, there's a petition. There's a whole thing. It's a lot of bureaucracy. But there are 2 spaceports in Molshuta. We've got a pair of landing bays. It's not a spaceport, but a couple of landing bays. And then as you come up here, there's a big electro gate. And I know it's like, how can read sideways? Why did Rich do that thing? It's so confusing. But I'll rotate you 2 more times and then we'll be able to see it. So you guys come in here. Are you headed back to the cantina? Where do we pick up our next scene? You guys have all this stuff. What are you thinking, Base?
Do we have a headquarters?
I don't know. Do you?
Well, we sure will be if we don't, because we just scored a lot of money.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is there a room we rent somewhere, or just a clubhouse?
Absolutely, yeah. You want that? We've got warehouses. This is kind of where most Imperials can be found. There were some stormtroopers that stay here. Down here in the off-world traders, there are a number of rooms that can be had. There's a cantina, a bathhouse, and a bunkhouse. There's a trader area, trader with a D, not a T. The slag works is where they do a lot of reconditioning of items. And over here in the power station, of course, is where a lot of powers. There's a grill and a bunch of areas to stay. So there are lots of options within Molshuta for you guys to crash somewhere.
Go ahead.
What about, I don't know, I'm totally okay if no one likes this idea, but what about buying into the Trax's Cantina? I mean, it just seems like setting up a home base there, base playing there, and us kind of being part owners would be kind of fun. And bikery.
One condition, he has to end poetry night.
I agree. I think it's perfect.
So we pick up with you guys like talking to Trask, and he's like, in poetry night forever or just for a short period of time?
Dude, if you do poetry night again, I swear to God, we're gonna fire another laser blast at something.
All right. Well, I'm still running day to day. It's non-negotiable. I'm sorry, but Ukor can't mix a drink to save his life.
I just wanted to check. Did we make a deal with Four-Fingered Fivo to fence this? Spice?
So he hired you guys. He's going to take a pretty significant cut, but he's going to move the spice. You guys haven't handed it off yet. Let's just say that you kind of pulled up, and he's supposed to come in here and take this stuff away. Is that cool? Like, we'll set the scene with that. And he's supposed to be along any time now.
Okay. Is there a top floor of the bar or something that we can use as our base, or ground floor even base?
There now is a top floor to the bar. There's the second story to the bar. He doesn't talk about it. He's not even on the maps, but there is one.
Actually, maybe a basement could be better, and it has like.
Did I say there was a roof thing, a second story? I meant there's a basement.
Because we're gonna be revving our bikes down there for a long time when we were repairing them. So
Yeah,
I think the noise carries better if it's on the top floor, so the basement will be more discreet. Maybe we could eventually build just like a little sideway exit and a ramp that flows down the side of the plateau, so we can ride down unobstructed.
Yeah, and I think you should probably put some kind of stuff that's in the way, and you hit a button and it moves out of the way. It's like a bat cave kind of, but Star Warsy. Anyway, I'm imagining, there might be like a side entrance here. Getting to it from this, maybe we need a Jawa who works on some kind of trapdoor. But right now, you have to get to the base, you got to enter from the outside. Does that sound cool?
Perfect.
All right, cool beans. So there's a little bit of music being piped in, some kind of bish band that's relatively popular in Mos Eisley. Trask likes it. He doesn't want Timo to know that he's playing some music from Mos Eisley, because then there's a whole thing that happens. You guys have negotiated with some of the payment you're getting from Fivo. You'll be able to own a significant portion of the bar. Trask is pretty happy about that, right? Because it's like he went and took some stock options and stuff like that. It's like, you guys are great. It's like his retirement. But he'll still operate the cantina. You guys realize that by having majority stakes, maybe you can name it, but at this point, it's still just known as the Cantina or Trask's Cantina. So I'm curious, Ion. How are you in a cantina? You don't normally see Jawa at cantinas. They're not really built for your size. So what's that like for you, Ion?
Sorry, I was having too much fun in chat. Yeah, I think that that since he's kind of frequented this place a little bit, he paid Trask a little bit on the side and has him keep like a chair that's been hollowed out so that he can like sit closer to the ground and have like a nice little cubby. And he just kind of like drags it around, and every time he moves from table to table, it just like makes a ton of noise, and he doesn't care. But so like wherever the other guys are sitting, he'll go over behind the bar with Trask and like slip him a few cred sticks or whatever, and then just grab this like booster seat essentially and drag it across the bar.
That's amazing and hilarious, and I love it. Cool. So you've got your Ro, so as a Mon Cal, do they carry any kind of drinks here? Does Trask have anything that a Mon Calamari would enjoy?
Yeah, probably. Or would it be more interesting if not? Maybe not. Maybe it's like I like every time I go in, I ask, it's like, do you have such and such a drink yet? Like I keep telling you to get it, and he's like, nah, not yet. Fermented seafood. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so you just end up getting water.
Yeah.
Is there any salt in this water? No, it's water.
God, do I have to do everything myself here? Yeah.
Obviously. Cool. All right. So you guys are gathered up. This could be a moment. I'm just kind of keeping it open. This could easily be a bonding moment if people want to commiserate, reestablish bonds, get back a little bit of karks, kind of free play. So if there are any conversations you guys want to have, I'm leaving it open to you. Otherwise, I will proceed along. So
I think I noticed Lonnie thinking about it. I think Jax and I should have a talk about leaving the Wookiee out there. I think Jax probably would have wanted the Wookiee dead, and I helped the Wookiee out. That might be an interesting scene.
Yeah,
so Jax, would you roll up on Ukork or?
Yeah, I think you're maybe sitting at one of the tables, and he just sits down and kind of clanks a big Star Wars version of a Stein or something on the ground. Maybe he's drinking something a little more frothy. and he says, "Ukork, so took you a while to catch up with the gang. What were you doing?"
Just you know, had a business to attend to, make sure that, you know, things were all right.
Making sure things were all right. Yeah, you weren't helping out any of Jabba's 5, were you, with that bleeding heart? You know, kindness. I don't know, what's this kindness thing. Do you know you're a Gamorrean? No, what were you doing? I mean, tell me as if I don't already know what you were doing.
I think Ukork kind of fesses up to it. It's just like, you know, I don't want to. That's not how people die. That's not how people die from the Starlight Raiders. They die on their feet.
Well, that sounds really good, but you know, that big Wookiee comes back. Some of us might die on our feet, or he might not give us that.
That big Wookiee comes back. He's going to remember that we were nice to him.
And I think Jex lets out a pretty big laugh at that, and he's like, "Let me tell you something. When people come for you in this life, there's no mercy. I wish the world was like what you mentioned, but it's not. Let me tell you." And he takes another drink, and his words are starting to slur, like maybe he's pounding back some memories with some alcohol. He's like, "That's the
mercy. You showed me mercy, Jex. Don't you ever forget that."
Man, you know, we just needed another person, man. Don't go putting this on me like, you know, like I'm doing some kind of charity for you, man. You did great out there today. I mean, it worked out well for us that I helped you.
Should we leave it there?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know where to go.
I think Ukork sort of leaves in a huff, then goes back to messing with his bike.
And Jack stands up and goes, "Making friends everywhere I go," and he pounds the drink down.
That did not seem like, I don't know, did that feel like bonding? Is that rough kind of bonding? You guys are talking on me.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I made it very Bond-like. I might have messed it up.
It seemed a little Bond-like at the end there.
Maybe. You know what? I'll give you guys each a couple of karks. Not a whole lot. You know, yeah. The GM will award them between 3 and 6 karks. I'm going to go low and go with 2. So there's some there, but maybe we'll get some more. I'm bonding. A Bondo moment. Sweet. Any other conversations you guys? And by the way, the chat, I love the idea of Ro like salting her water. That's just super cool. I just want to highlight that for people who don't have the luxury of seeing the cool chatter you guys going on. That's awesome. Any other scenes?
I might do one just for fun, like just to put the visual of Rose salting her water in the canon officially. So I think I see Ro in the bar. And you tell me how she's doing, Joshua.
Yeah, I think she's just kind of sitting with with kind of a exasperated look, like oh god, like these, like they don't get it, like this is so annoying kind of look, and just like salting, maybe like hands kind of like up, like elbows on the bar, and just kind of like gazing out, and just kind of sipping away at the salted water.
Because like one thing that I didn't mention to you guys who just hopped in today is that Base grew up in kind of like a paradise planet sort of situation. It has a lot of waterfalls and beautiful valleys. It's called Kiros. If anyone wants to look it up later, it's a Togruta colony. So I think she walks up to Ro and she says, as she's sipping her drink, and she makes a disgusted face because everything here has a little edge of disgusting because there's sand everywhere. And she just says, "It's nothing like home, huh?" It kind of makes you miss the water.
Yeah, for sure. I really got to get off this planet. Been here too long. Take a sip.
Where do you think of going?
I don't know. The galaxy's kind of blown to shit, you know.
Yeah. Well, we'll have you as long as you want us, but just so you know, you did great work today. It's good to have someone who can ride a bike as well as they can shoot something here.
Yeah, you too. That was some those were some good maneuvers out there.
I basically just do whatever voodoo comes to my head, and I hope I make out alive. I was glad Ion had my back.
Chuba, you recommended me here. You've been taking care of me. Thanks a lot.
No problem, buddy. We guys gotta stick together. We can't let the boys have all the fun.
Yeah, yeah. And I like kind of slap you on the back, kind of like.
Nice. I'll give you both. Take 4 karks. I like that camaraderie there. That's really cool.
Cool. Awesome.
I thought of one little minor retcon to Jackson and I's conversation.
Oh, okay.
I think at the end, I think Ukork challenges Jex for half of their take that when they meet Yakark again, Yakark will remember and be on our side. That Yakark will not be a traitor. And
yeah, I think Jax accepts that and like is very cocky about just thinking that there's no way that that's going to happen. Almost ensuring that it should happen.
Somebody make a note of that bet.
Yeah. I think that's Jex. Like he just does not believe that that's at all possible. Nice.
Awesome.
I wanted to have a little convo with Vulture real quick, and essentially Ion is gonna kind of hassle him a bit about why he didn't take out HBO 4 during the fight.
Nice. I will not be able to play Vulture as well as Ibars, so I'm just not even going to try to be Ibar's version of Vulture. So this is that. I don't know if you guys watch soap operas, but like sometimes an actor will be on vacation and the part of Vulture will be played by this inept GM. Voiceover get as you approach Vulture, but luckily we could do the guy with makeup who looks a lot like him, and he turns, puts his elbow on the bar and looks over it, and then he looks down and he sees you. Yeah.
I just start doing those Jawa gesticulations and lots of kind of like squeaks and stuff, and just like, Vulture, man, you had HBO 4 right, dead to rights. You were the only one in the job during this whole thing where you just did nothing, man. You and HBO 4 were just essentially sitting there playing sabacc or something. I don't even know what was going on. I was really looking forward to taking that droid home and tinkering with him. What's the deal?
Vulture pulls out a sabacc card, tosses it onto the table, and says, "We got what we needed. I'm sure you'll find all the scrap you want with your take." And he reaches down, he pats your little, like the top of your little Jawa hood.
Oh, I do that thing, like knock his hand away. Don't you touch me like that again.
He turns, he laughs. He says, "If you want to go after HBO 4 on your own time, you do it. I'm here to do a job. We did our job."
I'm just making sure you don't have some kind of, connection with that droid.
Oh, he takes a long drink. He puts that down. He says, "Well, if I got really angry when you said that, I'd look suspicious. So instead, I'm just going to finish my drink." Finishes his drink, puts it down. "Anything else, short stuff?"
I got my eyes on you.
"I can see. They glow." And he turns, kind of turns his back to you.
I think I just, throw up my hands and walk off back to my little booster seat.
Houdini!
Exactly.
Nice. I love it. So we fast forward a little bit of time, and Four Fingers hasn't shown up. He should have been here by now. So four-fingered Fivo Nietu hasn't shown up. You guys have a bunch of hot spice in cargoes right outside of the cantina.
I'm gonna kill that guy. But just one thing: does Ion get any cards set out for that interaction?
Ooh, you know, he was pretty nice actually. All in all, he tried really hard. So I'm gonna give him 3. Yeah, good question. He gets 3 carks for trying to bond with the unbondable vulture. He's so imperial, such a dick.
The Unbondable Vulture is like a great comic book name.
I know, right? I would. That's like an Image solo book that somebody who worked for Marvel far too long is like, no, I'm gonna make the Unbondable Vulture. That's it. Okay, sorry, I just went off on that tangent. Yeah, Fivo hasn't shown up. You guys have a bunch of hot spice, which you know is worth thousands and thousands and thousands of credits, but only if you sell it to people.
And he was working for Timo, right?
He was.
So I think Base is just gonna kick the side of one of their lockers down in the club basement. And she's like, that little 4-fingered mother cracker, I'm gonna kill his ass. Why isn't he here yet? What's going on?
I gotta throw in obligatory. I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes, take a cark right now. Just take one.
Jex goes, we don't need him. We can just take it to Timo. We could just go straight to Timo. We should be doing that anyway. We're the Sarlacc riders. Why do we need to mess with
Timo
Fivo?
knows about this?
What's that?
Sorry, are we even sure that Timo knows about this?
And Jets gets a confused look on his face, and he's like, well, tell him. How is he going to be mad about us giving him a bunch of spice?
Everyone loves spice. I'm in with that idea. Although I think we should leave the spice here, go tell Timo, and let him know we have it, so he doesn't just steal it from us.
Well, what if someone comes in and just steals it anyway? It's not like the door is super safe.
Oh, Vulture can guard it for us.
Vulture just
Fair enough.
smiles and nods. Yeah, I've got it.
If that's the plan, I'm definitely staying with the spice.
I'm just too pissed to think right now. Ro, what do you say? You're one of the 2 smart people in this room.
Yeah, I'm worried about it. I think someone got to Fivo. Yeah. We should take this to Timo. We should escalate.
Well, if you say so. Does everybody agree to just stride up to Timo's palace and just tell him, hey, we got some spice?
Yeah, nothing could go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, that could work.
I say we made a deal with Fivo. We made a deal with Fivo. We need to find Fivo.
I did see that little section on the map coming in of the Jawa traders. Maybe I could go and talk to them and ask if they've seen Fivo recently.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So, question: in your vision of Jawa, like, are they clannish? Are there like little clans of Jawa, or how are they organized out in the desert?
I think they're definitely clans. Like, they, in my imagination, I don't know if this is canon or not, but
It's getting ready to be canon. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they live in whatever the community that they are. You know, they're not necessarily like super territorial. You know, like if a Jawa comes to town and there's like already a bunch of Jawas there, then they'll welcome him in and he can hang out there and be part of their crew or whatever. But yeah, like every sandcrawler is like its own little tribe, and every like outpost is its own little tribe, and they're all very kind of like tight knit.
Nice.
Ion is just done with all that because it didn't work out last time.
Sweet.
Really?
So the clan at that trader, they're known as the Rotted Dewback clan.
Nice.
And you come in, there are a bunch of little Jawa who are working over a bunch of different pieces of junk. There was a sandcrawler that came by just a week ago, and when a sandcrawler shows up, it doesn't come up into Moshuda. Everybody kind of rushes down there, and it's like a big yard sale day, you know? And so they've probably picked up a bunch of the cast-offs, and they think they can reconstitute and recreate a bunch of new droids. So you see a bunch of mismatched droids that are hanging out and sitting in, and not all of them look functional. And a couple of the Jawa will recognize you, and they bow a few times and say, "Oh, you are the Swoop Ganger."
Yes, I am unclanned, but I still owe.
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Thank you for your condolences. That was a terrible day. I try not to think about it too much, but I'm glad that some of my brothers and sisters are still out there doing our business.
He holds his hands up like this. I am Bog Clock. Bog Clock. What do you need?
I was wondering if in your business, and as you sit here near the entrance to the city, if you've seen a certain four-fingered Rhodian about recently. He was supposed to meet us and do some trading, but we haven't seen him, and he's late for our appointment.
So you're trying to get a little bit of information. I'm going to set this as a pretty low difficulty for you to do this, just asking and being polite. So we'll say this is a normal difficulty, trading information with other Jawa. You're being cool. You're using your jaw, right? You're chatting with him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you've got 3 and be cool, a 1 in jaw. So that's 4 dice. Doesn't look like you're using theft, juggling, or slicing. You need 2 successes, and let's see how this comes out.
I'll give 1 kark.
All right, so 5 dice. Need 2 evens. It is not a pucker factor. He wouldn't rat you out, probably. Maybe.
Okay, so I think I've got this. I just re-rolled the left 5 of mine.
Okay.
So it's 2, 2, 4, 5. 2, 2, 2, 4, 5.
2, 2, 2, 4. That's a lot of evens, bro. You are good to go. So I'm again going to rotate the view. So let me click the buttons a few times, and because I'm going to reference a thing here, and it'd be good if you knew it by looking at it, because you would know Moshuda's layout. So you make your appeal to Bog Clock, and he says, "Oh, the Rhodian." No, we haven't seen him, but he stays in Shantytown, and he'll give you basically a number in basic of where you can find Shantytown. He says he took over that place. There was a Zabrak. The Zabrak used to live there, but he ran off into the desert. Crazy guy, crazy. And Fivo just moved right in there. It's on the corner of the big island, Shantytown. You could find him there, I'm sure. Unless he goes to the cantina too, alive. So you should check there.
Okay. Thank you very much, brother. May you find much metal, and may it never rust.
May you find a clan. Very sorry. Very sorry.
He's got one, buddy. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, nice. Base.
Very nice.
That is cool. Awesome. So, yeah, that's the information you get. What do you want to do?
I'll take it back to the cantina and tell everyone, see what they think.
Cool. So we'll say it's down in the basement. You guys have the cargoes of spice lined up against one of the back walls. There's a smell of like clava, like a coffee type thing, heavy in the area, along with the grease, and you have your different speeder bikes, and of course you still got to do a little bit of tune-ups and everything. And that's when you hear from Ion that Fivo could be found. He has a place in Shantytown.
I think Ukork is ready to roll up on that house right now.
Yeah. I'm more than ready. Like, Base is just, she got this big smile on her face. She's like, well, it's a win-win. We either find the little piece of drug and we kick his ass, or we trash his truck. So There's no way my day could get any better.
Nice. So we pick up. Is anybody staying behind?
I think
Staying
someone
behind with
should.
Vulture.
I don't mind staying behind. Ion does not mind because he could tinker on stuff the whole time. You know, he's not going to be bored.
Vulture will stick around too. He'll stay
Oh,
behind.
perfect.
Nice. All right. So the four of you guys head out and you head down to Shantytown. So the area up on Moshuta, all the buildings are like a stucco, you know, there's just like a sand mud, some thatch and stuff, but it's mostly permanently built buildings that have been here for centuries. We head down to Shantytown. There's a lot more tarp, the tents. There's a lot of mishmash, things where people just kind of lean to a bunch of old metal sheeting and the like. And so it's definitely the Shantytown. Whenever there's a big sandstorm, often Shantytown has to be rebuilt. A lot of transient people will stay here, and you guys head down. You're following Ion's instructions of where he was told by Bob Clock where you could find this thing. I'm going to say that our Gamorrean, because he has giant nostrils, has good sense of smell. So that's not a great thing to have in Shantytown. Just sorry. But it pays off in that as you guys get close to the area you've been told where Fivo can be found, you smell a dead body.
I think Jack says, sounds like someone was trying to be friendly in hopes that they'd be nice to him later. That's what it usually smells like when that happens.
I think Ukork's gonna knock down the door. Just, you know, if he's alive in there, he wants to make an entrance, and if he's dead in there, he wants to know right now.
Nice.
So just sort of like puts a shoulder into the door and busts into the place. I'm assuming it's a wood door.
Yeah. We'll say it's like a little, like a shack, like a hastily erected shack that's withstood a little bit more over the years. Knock down the door, it falls down, and you see there's a little table there. And Fivo is laying his head. His eyes have they no longer have that glow, spark of wit. And you see that his four-fingered hand is on the table, and there's actually a spike driven through it. And the blood is dried. You're not sure if it was the blast in his chest that finished him off or what, but he is definitely dead, and it looks like it wasn't just a walk-in shoot him thing. It looks like he took a while. Whoever was here took their time.
So Bay steps into the house and she's holding a pistol and she says, "Figures in the air, all 9 of them." And she looks at the body and she says, "Oh no, oh man!" And she just holsters the pistol. She's like, "Somebody got to him first."
Son of a blaster got himself killed. This isn't good. The spice is hot. Like we got to get rid of this shit, or this poodoo. Sorry.
It's okay.
What is this shit you talk about?
Oh no!
It's Mod Cal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, if there's probably a lot of reasons that Fivo could have been killed, like why a lot of people would want to kill him. But if it's about this spice, they're probably gonna be coming for us pretty soon.
Yeah, we gotta move it.
Yeah, I want to get a feel of the situation. I'm not really a burly person, so I'm not gonna be able to help with the body a lot. So I just want to examine the house for clues.
Okay. Cool. So let's have you you're being cool. And I think you're trying to use your head, right? You're trying to think this through.
Yeah.
And we're going to say that figuring out any signs that were left behind, we're going to call it hard. We're going to need 3 successes. Pucker factor isn't in effect.
Okay. By the way, I was just looking at my stats, and I realized I put 3 in hard, But I've been playing such a heartless person this whole time. So
yeah, what'd you do that for? You want to swap it with gut? You want to swap out heart with gut? You seem pretty gutsy.
Gut is more physical strength, I think.
It's I mean, it's how tough and strong you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? Where did you want to stick that 3?
Picking up in it with tools.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Not trying to meta game. I just wanted it to make sense.
No, it's fine. I'm good with it.
Code as steel. Okay, so I need 3. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got. Is it a head roll? Since I'm being smart about it.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Okay. So cool. 93. I'm gonna give a kark about it. Like, I'm
Makes
starting
sense.
to get nervous about the situation after my bloodlust has died down, seeing people dead.
How many dice you got?
I got 5. I got 6 actually now.
Do you want some help tossing the place?
Well, always.
All right, I can give a hand and give you a kark.
Thank you.
What was the difficulty set on this?
3.
I think Ukork will give a kark, and I think fictionally, Ukork is smashing things because Ukork is. And then if this works out, maybe something that Ukork smashed was like there was something in there, or it helped with the evidence by just smashing things.
Ukork is just like, the humanity.
I think Ukork's sad that they're not going to be able to move the spice now.
Oh wow, that's a lot of evens.
Oh, 1,
You
2,
only
3,
rolled
4,
one
5,
odd.
6, 7.
Holy crap. I'm going to, just because it abuses me and I want Ukork to be encouraged to break things, one of the crates he opens up actually has several sets of clothing that you see Fivo wears. There's also a data pad in there. And in that data pad, maybe if you splice it, you can figure out some stuff that's going on there. That is me hinting towards somebody who took splicing, because I think that's awesome. You also have enough successes to where you figure out a lot of other things. There's one particular thing that you figure out is that there's a particular. It's from your time with Ro the Moncall, that there's a particular residue on several points of Fivo's body that you recognize as belonging to a Quarren. Like Quarren sweat a particular liquid. So whoever did a number on Fivo during this torture information gathering session is Quarren. The Quarren come from the same world as the Mon Calamari. And they are the ones that have the like little octopus type deals, and they have the kind of conical squidish head. Imagine like squid people. So yeah, whoever did this is probably a Quarren or is working with a Quarren. And there is one Quarren that is known to be a thug for Jabba, and her name is Sooks. So with all of those successes, you're rather sure that Sooks pulled a number on poor Fivo, which means that Fivo probably rolled on you guys and the spice and the deal he had with Timo. And that's not great.
Yeah. Okay. So I relay that information to everyone here. And I just say, okay, we're karked. This is not good. So I think we need Timo's protection now. This is a little over our heads. We have someone working for Jabba who's got this whole thing figured out. We need to get Timo on this. Like, even if he wasn't fully aware of what people was doing, we need to talk to him.
I agree.
Cool. So let's cut back. As you guys decide, hey, let's talk to Timo. Let's cut back to the first thing in frame shot, right? Is the 5 cargo. Yeah, sorry.
I want to get the data pad to Ion as soon as possible as well.
Makes perfect sense. Awesome. So yeah, you grab the data pad and you're saying, hey, we need to talk to Timo, and you guys are about to head out. So we cut back to the garage area, the basement area, and we have Vulture and we have Ion there. And the first thing that we see is the 5 cartons, the big crates of spice. And Vulture has opened one of them up. He's got a crowbar that he puts to the side, and he's opened it up and he's looking in, all these like packets of spice. He looks back at you, Ion, as you're fiddling with things. He says, this is a fortune.
Yeah, I agree. What's your point?
My point is, this is hot, and there's no way we can move it. And if Fivo's gone, we're sitting ducks. I wonder if Timo's going to leave us out to dry. He puts it down. He turns around, kind of crosses his arm. He leans against the cargo. He's facing you.
I think we have enough of a presence here that we'll find a way out. I trust our crew. I even kind of trust you a little bit.
Of course you do. I'm the VP. VP of this karking place. You're lucky that you're even here.
I think Ion grabs some of his like little gizmos and gadgets and walks back over to the spice crates where Vulture is leaning up against them, and he wants to start kind of like rigging some of them up so that if you don't open them the right way, they might explode or like shock whoever's messing with them. So we can have a little bit of guarantee in case someone tries to steal them or double cross us.
Nice. Okay, you move over and you start to fiddle. What are you doing? What are you doing, Ion?
I want to have a little bit of a guarantee in case things go wrong. I'm gonna rig the lids of these up a little bit.
No, I don't think I trust you that far, Ion. I mean, rig this to explode, take out one of us. You can make it to where you're the only one that can open it up. He uncrosses his hands. He's got his little holdout blaster, and he's like, no.
You sure about that? What if someone else wants to grab these from us? Maybe someone who's close to us. Maybe someone we know. At least this way, I could give us all a way into these crates at only us.
Yeah, you. Some karking little Jawa? No. Sorry, you're not going to have the keys to the kingdom. Sorry, Ion.
I think Ion wants to try to like take the little bits that he's messing with. You know, he's trying to be discreet at this point, but his idea is to take these things that would be installed like a trap on this crate and try to throw them in Vulture's face.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. What are you trying to like? He has a gun.
Right. And he just threatened me with his blaster, and I want to disarm him at the very least.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Let's see how this goes. So the pucker factor is in effect.
Yes.
So Ion, I think you are trying to attack him. So that sounds like you're being badass.
Okay.
To me.
Mm-hmm.
You're using some tools. You are using some tools. But he kind of has the drop on you, so I think this is going to be hard.
Okay.
Can I give a kark in saying that in the past I taught Ion how to improvise in a close quarters combat? I'm just reaching here. I'm sorry. I just want to help.
No, it's good. It's tension. It's very tense. Ion, do you think does that feel right to you that Base would be talking about using improvised weapons to you?
I think Base and Ion, especially based on what we've done in this session, are probably the closest of the crew, like the person that Ion is closest to. So yeah, I could see them doing a little bit of.
All right, cool. Go ahead and give that kark.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm going to take 2 of my own karks because I'm not too confident about this.
All right.
So that should give me 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, you need evens and pucker factors in effect, and you need 3 successes. If only Ukar could smash things.
Nope, I'm having trouble selecting.
Oh, yeah, it can be fussy.
Okay, here we go. 7 dice. Oh, not good. 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, wow. So you pull it. Oh, wait. 3, 4, 5. It sounds like 2 successes
Mm-hmm.
against a difficulty of 3. Okay, so here's what happens. You toss the thing in his face, and he jumps back. He just fires the gun at you, and you see the conical rings come out, and he stuns you.
Oh, okay, so he had it on the stun setting.
Yeah, yeah.
Darn him.
Cool. So we go back to base, and Jax, Ukork, and Ro, as the 4 of you come in. I imagine you didn't take your bikes, like you walked down to Shantytown, right? So you come walking down into the basement, and you hear a groan from Ion. He's laying on the ground, kind of sprawled out on the ground, and the crates are gone. What do you do?
Where the carcass vulture?
Yeah, that's right. Vulture's not here. Thanks for pointing that out. I didn't mention that, but you intuited me there.
Oh yeah, we intuited it all right. I rushed up to Ion and I'm like, buddy, no.
That carking poodoo face. How did I let this happen? The worst Jawa ever. Can't even improvise a simple explosive right.
No, you're
Jax
the best
is
Jawa
picking
ever. What the truck? Did Vulture do this?
Yeah, he pulled a gun on me.
Mother Carker. Well, did he give any indication at all of where he was going?
I have no idea. He just opened one of the crates and got this look in his eye, like credit symbols where his eyes used to be, and I think he just got greedy.
He's hanging around Fivo too much. I'm itching to give him the same end that Fivo had. Oh, by the way, he's dead.
I think Ukork is just absolutely enraged and knows that the only person who might have any information on where Vulture may have gone would be our lovely bartender Trask, and just storms upstairs and grabs Trask from across the bar and gets in his face.
Trask is like wiping out one of the things. You grab him. He's like,
yeah, demands to know if he knows where Vulture went, if he saw Vulture go anywhere.
Ooh, nice. I think you're being badass, and you're definitely using Jaw, right?
Yeah, we could do Jaw. Yeah.
Does that feel right? Or what were you leaning towards? I mean, there are a lot of things here. It could be easily
hands.
Hands. Yeah, it could be hands.
I mean, it's the same score either way. And then it's definitely extortion. I mean, I'm not trying to get credit. I'm trying to get information from him, but with the threat of violence.
Cool. Normal difficulty. He's used to this. Trask gets roughed up for information.
He gets to me all the time. All right. So that's 3. That's 6.
Yeah, 6 dice. You need 2 successes.
No pucker factor or pucker factor?
Yeah. I'm going to say pucker factor because there's other stuff going on. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm good with that. And that's 2 successes.
2 successes, exactly what you need. He says, whoa, wait. Yeah, he said he left and he said that he was moving the stuff out of this too hot.
No, he just left with all of it. He left with all of the stuff. And you're not going to get your expansion. And
But
I throw him back across the bar and go downstairs and tell him, did he say which direction?
yeah, he pointed out like as if he's left Moshuta.
Okay, gotcha. So I go downstairs and start screaming about how now we're not only looking for a Quarren, we're looking for Vulture, and he left Malshuta.
Nice. So I'm gonna bring, just because we got a little bit of after. I think this is the great like moment where we end off. The last scene is for me is Trask. He's sitting like where you threw him back. He fell down. He's on his butt. And he's in between the bar, like kind of hidden. And he pulls out his little data pad where he's pulled up this little catalog of all the upgrades he had planned for his cantina with his money. And it's just a little Deverodian tear goes down his face as he waves goodbye to all that he could have had. And yeah, so that will be the end of today's session from my point. But do we have any like quick little bits, maybe like a couple of moments that you guys need, or are we good to end there? I don't want to cut anybody too short. Jex?
Yeah, I think when Ukor comes down and says that, I think Jex like kind of grabs a hold of him like by his colors and pulls him forward, puts his forehead to his forehead. And he's like, "I love you, brother, man. You gotta knuckle up. You got to knuckle up. We're going to handle this. This is what the galaxy is like."
And I'm like, you're right. We got this. And it just sort of slowly devolves into just pure Gamorrean.
Yes. 3 cards to both you guys. That was great. Oh, that moment was so good. So good. Any last bits for anybody else? You don't feel okay, yeah.
Yeah, so Base, she's just pissed off and she's pacing around and she's huffing and she's like, and then she just lets out this deep sigh and she just, and there's no like light in her eyes anymore. She's just full on psycho vengeance mode. And she slowly hands the data pad to Ion and you see her hand is shaking a little bit. And she says, "Buddy, could you crack this for me? I think we're going to use that information very soon." And then she just calmly strides towards the other end of the room and starts polishing her bike right on where the flames are. And you can see that she's thinking about setting Vulture on fire.
Nice.
I think Ion definitely takes the data pad, and he's got like, you can see his little yellow eyes are even like fiercer than normal because he doesn't want to let the team down again. And he's just like going at it on this data pad. He's going to get all the information, every last bit of it, and make it up to the team.
Nice. We'll pick up with that splicing roll. That sounds awesome. What about Ro?
I think Ro has Ro's also pretty angry, and she's just like says, it's like, okay, I gotta tune these bikes up. We need all the juice we could get to track down this guy, this mother carker.
Nice. That is great. So that's when the credits will roll for this session of 1%er Swoop Gang. You guys you pulled off an amazing heist. You got betrayed. It's been rough. So let's take about a bio break, 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll do the post-game feedback. I like to do that. We'll talk about roses and thorns and do all that stuff. So just take a couple minutes, walk about, and we'll see you guys. It's 40 after, so you see you at like 42 after. We'll start with roses and thorns. Cool. See you guys.
I need to find a Gamorrean soundboard for Ukwork.
Yeah, you do. I would be down for that. Gamorrean soundboard would be the best. All right, guys, welcome back. This is the post game. So some Gauntlet games will drop and go to Discord audio only. I usually just keep it here primarily selfishly because like this is part of what I use when I do notes for our next game session is your feedback. So it's important to me. I think of gaming as not just a hobby, but also a craft. I tell you that so that you understand that I thrive on feedback. And the last thing that I'll tell you is I'm also the son of a Marine Corps sergeant who became a high school principal. So there is no feedback that you're going to give me that's really going to break me. If there are things that I did where you're like, didn't really agree with that call, bring it, because everybody plays games differently, and I'm running this game with you guys for the next 2 more sessions after this. So just keep that in mind. We start with thorns, and then we go to roses, so that we end on a kind of an up note. Thorns are aspects of the game that need some more clarity, moments of the game that perhaps could have gone differently, or anything that disappointed you or confused you in today's session. It can be about the general rules. It could be about our setting or approach, particular calls that I made during the game. It's all wide open. We are going to start with Greg. Greg, what thorns did you have from today's session?
All right. I know you love your thorns, Rich. And I don't have that many. The only one I can think of, the only one, is that when the pucker factor is in effect, if I understand the game correctly, any Sheb that shows up, regardless of success or not, is damage to your karks. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so just reminding us of that every time that happens.
You're right. I didn't say that once. Thank you so much. That is definitely a rules clarification that I should have made clear to people. Because that's the thing, is even if you're successful, it still hurts. And that's what I love about it. And what's also funny about it is, like, if you do the math, people helping you increase your chance of getting hurt. But like you succeed, it's one of those more traditional games of like, there's no necessarily degrees of success. You succeed. Yeah, sure, I'll color a little bit more success to get 6 against a difficulty of 3. But really what you're doing is increasing the Sheb potential, which I love. You're rolling 12 dice against a 3. So anyway, those things. Thank you for that, Greg. That is great. Anything else?
Also, I don't think we got experience. That's not really a thorn. It's just a...
Everyone gets 5 XP for this session. I was delighted in this game. So please... mark 5 XP. If you have a question of what you can do with XP, it's down around row 30. I took a snapshot there. It's also in the rules and character creation, I believe. But you can increase your stuff, which is being cool or being badass. You can increase your things or your expertise. And the cost level for stuff and thing is the present level times something. Excuse me. And buying a new expertise, if you need it, you can see that rows 25 is hidden. So you can see the arrows to between 24 and 26. You click on that. That'll give you access to another expertise, I believe. Yeah, expertise 4. You can grab that. And if we need a 5th expertise, I will add it, my friends. I have the skills with spreadsheets. Cool. So yeah, that's the XP. Greg, any other thorns?
No, otherwise I am a completely thornless rosebush. This was amazing.
Awesome. Cool. So we're going to go with the Josh to my left. He played Ro.
Yeah. So I think I want to echo just a little bit of confusion about the Shebs. Mm-hmm. Like I was a little unsure of how they like it. I didn't get the sense that they were affecting the fiction at all. Like I couldn't tell like from the fiction how they I couldn't tell from the narration how what sort of downsides they represented. I don't know if that's really how you're supposed to run the game or not, but it's just something that I kind of expected, and maybe it's just getting used to your style. And an obvious thorn is my tech still is a little janky, so I think I need to get a nice long Ethernet cable so that it's that's kind of its. And I didn't really feel like I found a personality for Rose, so that's something I think I'm gonna try to work on. So I didn't really find anything that really drew her drew her into a character. It's a little scattershot feeling.
Okay, so on the first one, I think if I had done a better job of explaining how ships mechanically affect things, that probably would have set the stage. I will try harder to make sure that during our kind of talk off, as we describe what has happened as a result of the roll, that any shebs or harm to someone's karks, that will be reflected better, because it should be part of the narration. It needs to be part of us understanding, okay, why is it that you just went from 10 karks down to 5 karks, right? That should be painful, and I need to make sure that that's clear and is part of the story. So I appreciate that feedback. Thank you. Cool. And then the last one with so I'm so far away from my router that I can't run an Ethernet cable to it unless I run it outside. So I actually got it's called a wall plug, where you can hook one wall plug it in right by your modem, run an Ethernet cable to it. It goes through your electricity line. You put the other wall plug near where your computer is, and you run an Ethernet cable out of that. I don't get full throughput as if I had an Ethernet cable directly to my modem, but I get significantly higher throughput to the point where I can run this. Like if I go Wi-Fi with this desktop, it is terrible. But that's how I've solved for it. I hope it helps. It's like $60 off Amazon. Wall plug is definitely the way that I've solved for my own not needing Ethernet cable, because I'm on second story and my modem's down on the first. Good luck. Solving for that is an important part of it. But everything smoothed out after like the first half hour. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. And now we will go with our second Josh, who played Ion. What shebs or thorns did you have?
I think, like Lewis mentioned, I would have liked to see more damage come to our team, but part of that was just because we rolled so well at the beginning. I think the only person who got hurt was Jex, and then me at the end. So that was good. I actually kind of liked that I failed that roll, because I think it worked out narratively pretty well. So, but other than that, I think just the learning the rules and stuff. But that's always going to be a little tough the first time. So other than that, I don't think I have any thorns.
Cool. Yeah, I think there were a few times when some shebs affected roll where you guys were successful and you lost some karks, but I didn't make it clear in the resolution. So definitely a factor that I'll take into effect for future, so that you guys it's clear that you pulled off this thing, but by the skin of your teeth, and it also you paid for it a little bit. So, and I don't think I did a good job making that clear. So thank you. So next, Lonnie, what thorns did you have?
I think the only thorn I really have is, I think when we were having our bond scene, where I was having my bond scene with Ukork, I should have really driven for the bond more. I wasn't really even thinking of that for some reason. I was just thinking, what would Jex do? And I love that Greg retconned that to make that scene a little bit better, and I think that really helped. I really like the idea of Jex seeming like he's right, but I hope ultimately it turns out that Ukork's right, and Jex realizes that. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think when we do those scenes, I'm gonna try to drive the fiction more toward the bond during that. That's my.
I'll take my share of that too. I think in the future for those bonding scenes, it might be good to sort of frame up ahead of time where we want it to go, and then play it out. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, let's play around. Everybody finds their comfort level with it, and if defining ahead of, hey, I think this is a scene where we do so and so. Because the thing is, you're not looking for a die roll, so you're not necessarily putting something on the table. Say, we're not necessarily playing to find out as much as reestablishing bonds, revealing information, maybe talking a little bit about the past. So, Lonnie, I appreciate you, owning that. I really enjoyed the scene, but yeah, as far as a bonding scene, here's some different ways we could take with it going forward. Cool. Awesome. Luis, what thorns did you have?
Okay, so I got a couple minor ones. Just one of them is something that I struggled with a little in the last session, and I see that it's going to be an issue now. That whenever a Star Wars alien name is said, like I don't immediately know which alien it is. So I would appreciate it if it was typed down in chat as it was being said. Like when you mentioned the one from the planet of the Mon Calamari, I had to like snap my attention out of the session for a little to browse the species stat, trying to figure out which one it was before I landed on the Quarren.
Yeah, that's really good. I need to make sure that as I drop names that I'm clear, because there were a couple of times where you guys were like, wait, which one am I going after? Because I was throwing out a lot of names. So I want to work hard on making that clearer, and dropping it in the chat is a good idea.
Yeah. One thing was just a minor thing that I did this session is a thorn on myself that I was just so excited with the whole chicken thing that I kind of moved the spotlight to me when it was supposed to be on Ion, but then it got moved back, so it's okay. It was just something that I should have been paying more attention. And I was gonna say something about the maps, but I see that if I scroll down the map tab, there's more images, not just the first one. It's just that the way that Google Sheets handle images, it's hard to see the whole map at once because you have to scroll to the sides and up and down.
Yeah, I made it kind of giganto. I was like, got excited because there's so much cool detail in it. I did make it a humongous map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Thank you very much for your thorns. And I do this in snake order, which means we'll stick with you, Luis, for roses. Roses are a place where you can give attaboy, attagirl feedback to other players for things that they did well. Talk about moments or highlights in today's session, things that you want to say, oh, this is good, kind of like you in chat had said, Okar, I want more of this kind of stuff. So what did you have for roses?
Oh my God, where to start? I think I'm just gonna like steal a lot of roses from everyone as I say mine, because there are just so many good moments here. Oof. As I mentioned last session, I'm terrible with pinning down specific moments. I don't know if it's just me. But yeah, the one thing that you already mentioned, the Ion just like pouring whatever sludge he had on hand into this engine to make it pump faster just in the nick of time. It was really good. I love the tinkering bit. Let me see. Even though Joshua said the road doesn't still have a personality, I'm kind of starting to see her as like, because it's mentioned that she's a little older on the character sheet, so I just figured she looks like a more responsible person than the rest of the crew, as things usually go. Like, I think she's kind of tied with Ulkork as far as responsibility goes, but Ulkork is just too nice to play the best scene ever. Like, he's too worried about people being safe and not hurting everyone to like make the strategically sound decision every time. Let's see what else. Jax, always a blast. Always, I can't wait to see how he gets excited about violence. The minute I start coming up with a plan, I'm like, I'm gonna have Jax on this. I'm gonna entice him to set fire to something with me. Yeah, I think that's it. Like the two Joshuas who joined us today, you guys picked up on the whole setting and the situation really quick. That was really good. Like, it was pretty much seamless on how you just jumped on this heist that you had no background on. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Thanks, Luis. Lonnie, what roses did you have?
Man, it was a really great session. I love overall. I mean, everybody really worked well together to make this a really cinematic session. It just, everything went very quickly, felt like a movie. I love it. In particular, I guess some standouts is I love the fake chicken maneuver with the decoupling of that was great. And I love the scenes with Ion, both scenes with Ion and Vulture. I mean, I love those scenes. They were great, but there was so much that was good. I enjoyed the whole thing, but I think those are some highlights for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Lonnie, so much. So now Joshua, who played Ion.
Yeah, I'm glad Louise mentioned I really enjoy the cinematic moments, the way you describe them, Rich. I think those are great because I'm a very visual person. So having that kind of like to tie it in and reference movies and stuff like that, I think works really well for me personally. It feels great. I legitimately got like a little bit of a chill when Ukork and Jex had that moment at the end where Jex is like, you got to man up, Ukork. We're going to have to do this. Like, Vulture did not respect the clan, kind of thing. That was fantastic. And yeah, I'll agree with Louise as well about Ro. I think that her character is kind of coming through to me as like more of a like the responsible, established, like almost experienced pilot, who's like, well, we're going to keep it straight. We're going to do this professional kind of thing. And I like that almost more like she's a little bit above the more illegal stuff that we're doing, but she's still part of our group and she's willing to go along with all that stuff. And then, yeah, I just appreciate Base's going along with all the crazy stuff Ion is interested in, and I think our characters work really well together. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Joshua, who played Ro. What roses did you have?
I mean, I think you guys covered a lot of stuff. Like, I really enjoyed all of the role playing, like all of the different scenes, like the kind of refresh scenes that Ukork and I keep forgetting names. Ukork and Jex had, and I really liked how badass Base is. Just very, very cold, very cool. Again, I love the cinematic stuff. Like, yeah, you guys stole the good ones. And thanks for the kind words about Ro. I think like now that I kind of know kind of how you guys see her, maybe that should help me kind of focus in, or at least gives me some confidence. So
cool.
Thanks.
And I just want to, sorry, Greg, you'll definitely get to go in a sec, but I want to say, so for Ro, so the Moncall and the Quarren have not the greatest set of relationship. Like, they both inhabit the same planet. They're both aquatic species. There have been a number of civil wars that have taken place. I specifically chose a Quarren that works for the Jabba. And the fact that your character's older, I would love for you to think about like a flashback of some way that Ro knows Sooks that we can work into the next session.
Awesome.
That could maybe
I'll think about that.
So yeah, I planted that seed there because I'm like, oh, like a B-wing pilot, kind of. I saw Ro as, and I'm Sons of Anarchy for just a second. There's a character named Chibs in Sons of Anarchy who was like a sergeant at arms for a while. He's like an older member of the gang. He's 100% like trustworthy, reliable, knows the rules, like does it, make sure things stay in line. And that's kind of mentally how I saw Ro when you first introduced the character. So I saw a lot of like the impetus of the germination of the character. So I like Ro. I see Ro. I don't think that Ro is, I think she has a specific niche within the group that I find interesting. I'm looking forward to see more out of it. So we saw good stuff. Maybe you felt like it wasn't there, but maybe I was just imagining it. But hell, that's why we play these games.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right. So Greg, bring us home with some of your roses, sir.
Yeah, just to continue the thing about Ro, my one for Ro is a thorn for myself. I had a little bit last time. I didn't say it, was that I need to throw the spotlight around a little bit more as a player. I really appreciate when other players do it to me. I know it's something that Lonnie has done in the past to me. But a big rose to Joshua playing Ro, because like right at the beginning, we were talking about, well, who has the plan? And I was like, oh, the new person who hasn't played before. And you immediately were like, it's an ambush and we're hiding behind the rocks and we're going to get them. And I was like, yes, excellent, fantastic. And that really cemented for me that Ro is the cool, calculating, even-headed one of all the group. And yeah, going on with my roses, and again supporting the Ro thing, is that the thing with Jex, not Jex, Base and Ion, that whole playing chicken thing, I loved that. It was a beautiful moment. And then they do that, but then I sort of see like, we didn't think about the cargo. The cargo just keeps going, and then Ro just swoops in and grabs it and keeps going. So I was like, okay, Ro has the plan. It's cool. And then yeah, a big shout out to Lonnie. Our 2 bonding scenes were absolutely amazing. I loved the the sort of the brotherhood thing that we're forming between the 2 characters, as all of we're the 2 people who are the badasses for the group. And I even thought about adding more cool because I have the experience, and I was like, no, I'm the badass. I break stuff. Jex breaks stuff with me. I've just got the heart, and Jex has the the death wish, the danger. So it was, yeah, I just love that relationship that we're forming. And then last one to Richard, I love that Vulture is betrayed us, but you left Vulture open enough that we could possibly, well, the Jawa was trying to steal the spice and I wasn't going to let that happen. There's still, Vulture might be evil, just leaving that a little bit ambiguous for this episode was really cool.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing that thing. I've had a great time running this game for you guys. It was a fun heist, and I really look forward to next week as we figure out what's going to go on with all that big spice. You guys are doing great. Both Josh was so happy to have you part of the gang, and I cannot wait for another 7 days to go by. Thank you all so much for playing, and we'll see you in a week.
Thank you. Have a great week, everyone.
See you guys.